Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Hello and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open. My name is John Allen. With me is Toby. We're going to be taking a look at Europe today because it is time for the regional finals.
It is going to be absolutely amazing. And not only do we have an insane prize pool, but to be honest, one thing is the money, right? Yeah. Another thing is the slots at stake, because there's something really, really huge to play for.
Yeah, of course, we've got the Spring Championship Finals coming up later this year, which should be absolutely great. Of course, the top spot coming out of this weekend will be going straight on there. They'll be booking their tickets straight away.
Yeah.
And of course, those next 2 spots will be heading over into the prelim tournament, which is their next chance to get that spot as well. Because I believe there's four to... I have to double check. I think there's 4 or 6 qualifying spots coming from that prelim tournament as well.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely insane. I mean, the fact that you have all these guys playing throughout the tournament so far, we've had the pleasure of following the Indian region, the 2 of us. You'll get to cast all the regions practically when it comes to the finals. And they've been playing for top 8s, top 16s, top this and that. Now it's just 3 spots. Sure, you get some money the further down the list, but the top 3 spots, those are really, that's where you want to be sitting.
And there's quite a lot of money in those top 3 spots as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just looking at the numbers, you've got $25,000 in that top number 1 spot, $12,000 in that second place, and $9,000 in that third position. So quick maths, what's that? That's 38, 39, almost $40,000. But let's take a look at the rules for this weekend. Of course, no changes here. 30 points for that chicken dinner. And the kill points, they're going to be stuck at 1. So placement still very much the name of the game.
Yeah, it sure is. If you can get kills, that's all good fun. But if you don't get the placements to support it, then you will not, especially not see yourself in the top 3 spot.
No, it's going to be pretty tricky to get that done, of course. But we only have 16 teams this time around, which means they're going to be much more familiar with each other, with how everyone's going to be operating. Every single map is going to be hotly contested. We are in a constant rotation today, which means that we are going to be seeing different maps. No like double Erangel. We're going to be chopping and changing. It's Sanhok, Vikendi, Erangel, Miramar, Erangel, or Erangel, as I should start saying. But
that's
you know,
that's potato, right?
It's personal preference, right? Yeah. But So none of these teams are going to be super comfortable just yet. They will have all played against each other and quite extensively.
Yeah. I mean, you say none of them are going to be super comfortable, but I'm looking at one team that, at least through the semis, they look rather comfortable. I mean, just let alone off the kills. You have one player who is sitting, I think it was something like 22 kills above second place. That's absolutely, I have it written down here, Matic. He was at 54 kills just for the semis, only the semis, right? And the second guy was at 36. He was 18 kills up from anyone near him.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's pretty good news for him, because not only is there a prize pool on board, but for the team that wins, their highest killing player gets an extra
MVP
4K in the pocket.
Yeah.
MVP prize.
Exactly. That's absolutely insane. I mean, I'm just looking forward to see what they can do here. Now you can argue, were they in a group overall that might not have been as good? Maybe. But then again, I mean, they were always splitting half-halves, or Group A would play with B and vice versa all around the floor. So they might have been up against teams overall that was maybe a bit easier. But then when you look through the teams, and then when you saw what the other teams did accordingly, it wasn't really the case. I mean, they were just really, really dangerous. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they came out second from group stages, moving all the way through. Of course, this team being De Formia Meditori.
Oh, someone's been practicing his Italian.
I had to make sure that I read that right, because it's Meditari. Oh, no. It's not Mediatori.
Brings me back to the old Assassin's Creed.
That's what I-
Ezio Auditore.
Ezio Auditore. That's what
You
I was
have to do
thinking.
the hands as
You
well.
have to do the hands. I'm sorry, anyone watching from Italy.
Oh,
That's,
that's amazing. We've just offended an entire country. I
you know,
love it.
Why not start off as you mean to continue? Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I don't mean to continue like that. Don't think I do anyway. But I'll tell you, they do mean to continue how they're going at the moment. Because that was a very dominant performance. 110-point gap between them and the second place out in the semi-final stages. Who's going to be able to stop them?
That's what I'm looking forward to see, because now we will get, I mean, at this point, before, when we went both through the group stages and the semis, there was this whole, how is that first game going to pan out? How are things going to go here? Now you kind of know what's going to happen over the long short of things, and you see the teams listed up right here. A lot of CIS favorites. In the sense of Erangel, you got organizations in there like M19 and Team Unique, both from the PC and from the PUBG Mobile sort of regions. Very, very big and respected CIS regions. A lot of representation coming out from them there.
And not only that, you've got the likes of Team Queso, a well-known mobile organization in Europe with teams across various different games. So they're obviously branching out here. Besiktas, a traditional sporting organization as well. So you've got people coming in from all walks of life.
That's amazing,
and giving it a crack. So it should be a really good, fun set of matches.
It is going to be really good. It's going to be good. There's going to be a total of 12 games played, and to be quite honest, that's not a lot. Normally we say, there are so many games to play. 10 games, so even less, even less. Yeah, that's the other regions doing something. Yeah, it's a little interesting. But normally we say, there's still like 15 games to go. They'll make it work. They'll fix their wrongs, and then they'll kind of come bouncing back here. Honestly, if you're looking for a top 3 spot, I'm saying you can have probably, I'm going to say 2 games with under 10 points.
And that's, and
that's what you can get.
And so it's really going to be the creme de la creme.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be the very best that's going to qualify.
Yeah, and that's really what you need to do to put up the performance. Of course, you know, if you do place in those 4 to 7 spots, that's still pretty decent. You still get a pretty decent paycheck.
But you don't get what you want.
Yeah, that's
the
kind of the
finals,
thing,
right?
Yeah. So it depends what you're playing for. So a lot of these teams may just be playing for those center spots to try and ladder up in terms of that prize pool and try and stay out of the bubble. Of course, none of the teams will be going home empty-handed.
Oh no, they've all made it this far.
They've all made it this far, which means they are guaranteed at least $500 for their team, which would be pretty sweet.
It's a good song. It's a little.
If you have 5 players on your team, that's $100 per head. So that's pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to sit and count it into hours, like in wages in that regard, as to how much effort they've put into it. But also just goes to show that the teams that have made it this far, talking about hours spent, let alone, one thing is how much they practice and how much they do outside of playing in the tournament that is live right now. Another thing is how many matches they have played throughout this tournament in order to even get to where they are now. And honestly, for those of you guys, I mean, again, it's only 3 spots available, right, in total. For the rest of the 13, don't go home. I mean, you could be sad and annoyed that it didn't qualify, but the fact that you got this far, I mean, absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's really, really strong. I mean, they've beaten out so many other teams, as you say. We've slimmed them down time and time again. So we are at this stage where everybody is going to be able to put up the money and see what happens. But it seems like that, as we were saying, there is this just behemoth at the top who no one can dethrone, certainly from the semi-finals.
Yeah.
The question is, have people managed to watch back over those VODs, watch back over those replays, and see why they are so strong? Because this is the problem. It's the blue shell effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you look at teams
I like that.
coming in. Yeah, well,
blue shell effect. I know,
it's the
it
blue
makes
shell
sense.
effect because you sit at the top, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh, their strategy is really good, so we're going to learn how to play it and how to counter it." So as soon as you have those things on board, all of a sudden your strategy becomes a little bit less viable because everyone's targeting it.
And it won't take a whole lot for other teams to make it up there. That's the thing. If you have one team that just falls off a bit, from that first spot, more often than not at least, down to the 4th spot, might not be that big of a difference. But we are in game number 1. John and I will be doing our best through these 10 games to carry on through. It's going to be today, it's going to be tomorrow, but why not start it off with a good old Sanhok?
Oh yeah, a little bit of chaos to rein us into the new final stages of the European region. So, as you can see, a little bit of a westerly plain, and that top left island, the northwest island, looking a little bit interesting here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, at least as far as the playing go, of course, we don't know exactly where that circle is going to head for us, but it seems like the majority of teams are going out to the eastern side. Again, it is the bigger island. Statistically, there's a bigger chance that that circle will go there. And honestly, the worst thing about Sanhok, one thing is foliage and whatnot, but those rivers in between the islands, you just don't want to get yourself caught on the wrong side once it determines which side it's going to go to. This one, though, unless if it really hard shifts west quite a lot, it should most guaranteed to go towards the east.
Erangel, they dropped out early. They're going to be getting some nice, decent loot on board Camp Charlie. You got Magic as well over Kampong. And it seems like everyone's pretty spread out at the moment. Although I'm seeing quite a lot. Look at that spread coming out from Team Ultra.
This is a thing that I was looking forward to in the aspect of with only 10 games to play. I mean, one thing is when you play a 32-game round. Ooh, we actually have a fight going on here already. Seems like Ultra found themselves a player.
He's going to be looking for the shots. He is going to be able to spot it out. Already half damage.
No health, no vest, though.
Going to be coming through, turns the corner, goes for the spray, gets the knock. That's going to be pretty good, as he is just going to be able to finish off. No one really waiting in the wings there. And it's a nice early pickup for Ultra Team.
Yeah, timing going down real early, and that kind of shows what I was going to say just before. How aggressive are some of these teams going to play? Because you can dare a little more when you have so much more room for, I guess, mistakes in the end. But as I said before, if you're playing in a league where you have 10 games to get a top 3, it's limited what you're going to then do. Right now, both these teams are taking cash. There's Ultra Lusada as well right off the bat.
They're giving as good as they get, and they are going to pay the price just that little bit. You see, they are going to find this knock. Should be able to just finish that one off, so it's 1 apiece.
Right now they're sharing first place. But they've also taken a lot of casualties and get in there. Losing players this early on, and especially on Sanhok, such a team fight-based map. I mean, the teams to me that make it out the best on Sanhok are the ones that can play as a unit, play as 4, run around kind of military style, clear objectives, hold each other's backs, especially when you move around in the open. It's really, really difficult. Now, I know a lot of teams like to but sit around in the compounds at least for as long as they can. But when it comes to breaching and whatnot, if you have just that one more guy alive, it can really, really determine everything for you.
And that's why I was kind of interested to see the spread coming out from Ultra Team. I mean, you saw them, they were all on that northwestern island, and they were, dropping pretty much solo. I mean, they were within each other's vicinities, and it is quite a small map, but still, they were just nowhere near each other. So, you lose that engage and you lose a player. If, for instance, they hadn't won that first knock, they could have been in a lot of trouble, but...
That's Besiktas.
Besiktas.
Once again, early on in engagement, on these confrontations, you can see Loversen has already lost some HP, so they clearly know of each other's whereabouts. But oh boy, what are you gonna do for us here?
See if he can learn any new tricks this time around. The rest of his team at his back. They spot one out, goes for the spray. Nice peek through the window, but can't quite connect the full spray. Little bit of a miss spray there going out from Old Boy, but he is going to rotate, try and make the best of it. No windows on this side, I'm afraid. Certainly none that can spot him out. Spots one more, though, goes to the spray. This time it's going to be the knock. There is a player watching and waiting outside, though. Goes for another one, goes for the trade, takes a bullet for his trouble, but is able to take out that second player, and that's the confirm as well.
And look at the way they just swamp this compound. That is the benefit. That's what you can do when you have 4 guys moving together. When you're split up, even just having that third guy, having the 4th guy killed, if you get one knocked, that's one having to sort of commit to the rest, and the other guy can't go aggro because he needs to defend the guy resting. You lose your entire... Like, people tend to say, oh, it's just one guy, it doesn't matter so much, but when you put it into actual strategy, it can change everything.
Yeah, it really does matter when it comes down to it. Those bare feet, though, they're trying to find from hell something in towards Team Queso, but they haven't quite got the bead on them just yet. They're biding their time.
Also, I mean, we got to figure how aggressive do you really, really want to go early on here? I mean, sure, it can showboat you and it can get you into those crazy 10-plus kill victories. But as we saw before with Ultra, for example, they get a kill. Sure, that's all good fun, but you lose a player in doing so, and is that really worth it? Then especially when we're talking a point system that is so placement heavy as this one, is it really worth it to take those early engagements, or should you maybe more play, not necessarily scared, but just really go passive on it early on?
Kuma, they have themselves a compound. Pretty safe for now. You can see there's one of the remaining Ultra Team members rotating along the side, but M19, they've taken a casualty. They're taking a knock, and there's a push coming in.
I'm not sure if they're going to over-aggress on this one. Seems to me like M19 might be able to stay put. The only thing is he's all by himself, and as you can see, ASA, they seem rather committed. They lost a player early on as well, I believe. So, just 3 guys running together there. That's going to be them trying to push on forward. Tommy wants the first one to go down, and as you can see as well, the M19 guys, they're nowhere near. Yeah,
there's no way that he stays up here. He's just gathering info for the rest of his squad. He's going to crawl himself out the door, but I don't think he's going to be staying safe for too long. We'll spot it out. There we go. Donates over his gear.
Besiktas loses one once again as well. Under fire, Unique. Old Boy yet again. Unique, they're going aggressive early on. I like to see it, but still... It's really only rewarded if they can do so without taking casualties. We just talked about it before. I like them going aggressive. They're getting a lot of points early on, so not full on relying on those placement points. But again, with placement points being so crucial, you can't really not rely on them. Unless we get like 20 kills every game.
That's the thing, right? If you can frag out your mind every time around, but that's it as well, isn't it? It's because you've got maybe a 70% chance generously of winning a firefight. You're still going to be losing 30% of those engagements.
Yeah.
So if you're better at placement, if you're getting placement 80% of the time, that's absolutely huge, because then you take fights in the advantage where it gives you 90% win rate.
My advice in all of this is that if you're a good fragging team, like if you know that you can just run around and slaughter everyone, like Unique is kind of trying to show us right now, save it. Because even though you're a crazy fragging team, there'll always be the one snake like his. Okay, he can get a finish off on one guy. That could be the difference maker as to whether they make it 5th or 1st place, right? And in the end, that one kill will be worth so much less than the placements in the end. Now, Circle does shift north, so Unique, they can run around as long as they would want to. People down south, though, we're looking BML Avantgarde as well. They have a little bit of a ways to run.
I'll tell you who I'm worried about, though. It's ASC and M19 over on that northwest island. They both have to make that cross, and they're going to be trying to rotate into several teams there on that western flank.
You can see Unique, they're looking for that last place. So we killed 3. There's got to be one more, right? Now, Ultra taking casualties once more. They got themselves the first kill of the game, but they've just lost their 2nd player. Not the type of start you want to these games. Again, we said before, only 10 games to play, with the top 3 being what all of you, I would assume at least, all these teams are kind of looking for. One bad game is pretty much, I mean, that's the, like you get one mulligan, right? You get one strike off, and then it has to be pretty good from there on out.
Yeah. Well, with Tommy going down, they are going to make a little bit of a rotation. ASE is one of those 2 teams on that western island that do have to make that rotation. They got themselves into a vehicle, but they're all stacking up on it. Naughty, naughty. That's not how you want to do it.
Yeah, especially on Sanhok. So many trees, so much cover where people could be hiding, just waiting for you to come on forward. Now DM here, our absolute beast of a team, at least through the semifinals. We'll see if they can make that same thing work coming into the finals here. Of course, doesn't matter how well you did it there. If you can't deliver when it comes down to it, then there's going to be no final spot for you guys.
Yeah, they're just off to the side of Paradise Resort.
They're sitting
it's a decent spot here because, of course, the circle's pretty much slap bang right on top of them. So they're going to be happy with this compound for now.
Yeah, no reason to run anywhere. And I mean, again, if they're a team that is confident in their killing ability, no reason to give up on a really good spot in order to try and hunt things. Just let them come to you and then slaughter them once they try and breach your compound.
Just take them down. That's the thing as well. Compound cover is so valuable here.
It is.
It's such a strong position to have.
Especially in third person.
In third person, you can just sit by a window and get free information.
You get the Pika's advantage in that regard, and I mean, some people. That's one of the arguments of people going against. It's like, oh, it's so unfair. You can stand behind cover and dig up, but then the argument for it from other players, like, but everyone can do it. So it's all about who is better at putting you into a position where you can use advantage or use it to your advantage. And honestly, compounds, setting behind rocks, using those trees to your advantage. That's how you do that. And that's how you get it to work your way.
Well, the Formia Meditari, they are going to be dropped on an Org. So that's a nice pickup for them. They pretty much get that one for free. Avantgarde moving into that southeastern side of the circle. They got From Hell just in front of them on that line of attack. See if they're able to push through. But for now, we're still at 16 teams.
No teams eliminated so far. We have lost a couple of players, though, make that 9. You can see BML, they're playing it ever so cautiously as well. They're making their way in from the southern side. We saw them on the map just before. They have a little bit of a run to make, but they sure are close to the circle. Now, should the next one go far north, we know that the later on in the game we get, the shorter the period between those circles closing will be. And if you're on the edge for too long, it's going to be tricky. Now, Rosk here. I'm a little surprised. I mean, we talked about it when we were coming India as well. One thing is playing passive in the compounds. I respect that, especially with so much at stake here. You want to stay alive for as long as you can. But it doesn't mean that you're just going to technically, and I know they're not, but sit around and look into a wall like we see right here with TQG. I mean, they're in a compound. They're in the circle. That's all good. But what if that next circle goes away from you? You have to be ready for it, right? You have to sort of do something to be proactive and look around, see what you can get some reconnaissance going, and it doesn't seem to me like they really are.
Teams like Magic, though, they're just going to be jumping and leaping about on top of the rocks and jumping around. So they're pretty confident no one's nearby. Maybe they've just got a read on something as well.
Yeah, when they are in an open area. And the thing is, that's dangerous, of course, if there are teams ready to shoot you from cover. But as you could see there, they had their wits about them. They had the info that they needed, and they are making their rotations on in. Gold will be doing the same thing from here. making the run along the southern edge. That could potentially be running into BML down the southern side, but now Circle goes Womp north once again. Their compounds in the center. Paradise is completely open, actually, as well. So there's plenty of room for teams to take spots up there. But another thing is, for those teams that are currently on the edge of the new circle, are they going to sit around waiting for players, or are they going to take that spot themselves?
The rotations do have to come, though, from that southern side. And with the river guiding them in, there's a big funnel going on there.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Side. So about 3 teams are going to be clashing on that northward rotation. So we're going to be looking out for that. Circle, so sort of phase 5 is really where we expect a lot of the major names to start dropping, to start putting in those frags.
And you can see the circle has already started closing, and the periods between these circles are so deadly. You do not have a whole lot of time to do your reconnaissance, to scout on forward. And that's why I'm saying, if you are inside the circle, you gotta be on your tippy toes all the time. Now, Erangel, they're running into an ambush. Gonzo all by himself gets completely obliterated, and the rest of the Erangel players like, well, I guess we're not crossing the road anytime soon.
Team Queso with a little bit of cheese there coming in.
They were just waiting for it. They heard them around. Ooh, good nade thrown in there, though. That's one knock coming in for Erangel. Maybe they'll do a bit of retaliation here.
Yeah, of course, Team Queso actually playing with 3 players. You can see on the top left of your screen. So they are down already. Another nade being thrown on in, but this time it's from Team Queso. Erangel just push back just a little bit. They get the res off.
Main thing here is for Erangel, how willing are you to commit to try and do this? I mean, they have to cross that road eventually, right? But are you going to run in and take a fight? Or are you going to try and hold it off? It's a 3v3. Now, they don't know that Genso is only 3 alive. So, I mean, that Chiguchi is only 3 alive. So they're going to maybe, just maybe, sit around for a little while longer and see if they can find an escape elsewhere.
But at the moment, they have a pretty strong position. You see Team Queso here, they're stuck in a single building.
Yeah.
They're really, really vulnerable to a third-party situation there. But an airdrop in the middle of nowhere leaves an MK14 pretty much towards Roscu, but in goes Mackie, able to get a knock, nicely done, onto Carrick by the door. So they're not going to have that strength of position. You're going to see Team Queso have to make some rotates. They're probably, what I would suggest for them is to actually rotate away from this compound.
And that's the thing, right? Especially on this map, if you're Queso, if you're Erangel as well, even... It's just Sanhok for you. I mean, spend too much time around here and it's going to get you killed. Now, Solke, he avoided death from Unique just before, but now OBS has made their way on up here as well, and that could be that could be another team finding him. I wonder how long he's going to chill by this little pile of wooden planks.
Well, placement is the name of the game.
That is true. That is true.
And who's going to check behind this pile of wooden planks, right? Who's going to expect someone to be camping for so long then?
I mean, all honesty, with so much on the line, you might just want to expect all those sort of things. Like, you can expect the unexpected. I think it's going to be the go-to for any team playing this tournament right now.
Everyone just healing up at the moment in this little micro-engage coming through.
Small thing, but liking that Carrick is using bandages rather than first aid that he had available. He knows that he only has 1 and he had plenty of bandages, so instead of getting that fast heal up, he knows that they ain't going to push anytime soon, and if they do, he's ready for it. So, smart place, smart priorities.
But he's got himself a pan, and that's the main thing.
That is true. That is the main thing. That is a BM weapon of them all.
What's that design on it? It looked pretty cool. Okay, but here we go. Might see a little bit. This is that southern side. This is that southern push that we were talking about. An Epic coming up against Gold and already Nox coming through. But Epic really the ones in trouble at this stage because Gold have that forward position. Kingsman actually moving back and wants to look to go for that res. Interesting. Dangerous in the zone. Let's see if they're able to pull it off. Wow. But for now, we're still on 16. Look at that shift. We're over to Paradise Resort.
That is one hell of a Paradise ending if I've seen one. Hell, well, I mean, they're sitting pretty well in it. They're pretty much putting the name down of the Paradise Resort as to what's to come because all these teams that are around right now have to make their way down. Now, DM on the southwestern side, are they going to stick around here? Or are they going to try and get themselves into a more center position? They did go center with the first circle. Now that it shifted them on the edge, I wonder what they're planning on doing. Queso and Erangel, they've been here for a while, but now Erangel, they have to push across somewhere, somehow. You can see Bandita has pushed around the backside to try and see if he can get some more vision. But, well, I mean, they ain't really giving him a whole lot to spot for.
There isn't too much, is there, at all?
Yeah.
Epic, though, they made their rotation. They did break away from their fight. Did go just a little bit northwest, and they're out the circle now, but they've only got 8 seconds till the next one's going to push. Luckily, it's a very southern circle for them, so they don't have to make that strong rotate, but... With DM right in front of them, that's going to be pretty tricky to push on in, and it looks like they're heading straight into the jaws of death.
They will need to just take their time and not do anything overly aggressive. Let everyone else fight, and honestly, tank a bit of blue if you have to. Just if you're only 2 guys alive, placement points being as important as they are, do not try and aggress on any fight, because that's how you're outnumbered.
Roscu taking a little bit of a fight with Magic there. They do manage to get a knock, but they are crossing out in the open. Magic have a strong position here, but these rotates do need to start to come on in.
Harp has been doing a lot of damage in the semis so far. He's sitting at a tied 4th with 31 kills through those, so clearly a heavy hitter. But with Gum going down right now, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do anything. And nope, he's running around on off. I like to see it. Honestly, as we talked about just before with this point system, a good disengage, especially before the last couple of fights, a good disengage I think would outweigh engaging pretty much all the time.
Until you get to sort of the top 4, you're really sort of guaranteed to do better off disengaging. But again, Team Queso, they're now fighting on multiple fronts. Avant-Garde, you can see they've rotated away. And the fights are coming in now from the east, from BM.
They've been fighting here for so long. And honestly, all these teams hearing them shoot there might just wanting to get into a third-party chance on this. But unfortunately, it's not quite the case. Mello spots out one, gets himself a knock on towards Said as well. 2 more players to deal with, though, and once again, backing off. They know they had a player knocked just before, and he's not full HP, so no reason to go aggro on it. Just keep on running in with the circle. Like to see it.
Rosq giving up one of their members. They are just going to take that position instead. Not going to be guaranteeing it. But you can see Andy, they know exactly where these players are going to be. Because, of course, they got the knock. They know that position's there, and the rest of Magic have to rotate away. Still on 16 teams, though, with 52 alive. The numbers are starting to thin.
And we just saw on the kill feed there before that Erangel lost a player to Hell now, so obviously other teams are starting to engage on it. Erangel simply took too much time, and now they're starting to fall apart. I believe they just have 1 player remaining. Now Master gone down as well. That's elsewhere, but now for Queso, they need to make their run on forward. They are in still, but look at the amount of teams, and holy cow! Paradise for sure now is where we're going.
And look at the number of teams outside of the circle, on the sidelines. Everybody is just going to be running at this place. I think they're booked up. I don't think you can...
You can't get in. The bottleneck is too small for what's about to try and get on in here. I mean, there's simply not enough room for these teams to make their way into Paradise. That's a team gone down right there. Yep, Besiktas, they were fighting from the very start. And now Kingsman trying to do some damage here.
Oh, he's got the overview, but he's been spotted out. The rest of his team's at his back. They got a nice diamond and a nice cover on the flank. The hillside's going well for them. There was a Molotov over the top. Kingsman, though, not going to be displaced by it. Not just yet, anyway. Epic making those runs and making that rotation work.
Yeah, he needs his teammates to come up and help him out, and right now they are. You can see they're fighting, but they're fighting other teams as well. And we're talking about it just before. The bottleneck is only going to get smaller, and there are simply too many teams trying to make their way on in. One thing is you can sit in the comfort of your compound once you're inside Paradise Resort, but getting there, as you can see here, sure there are trees, but it's really, really open.
Teams are going to start to drop like flies. There you can see M19 going out. The rest of the team's all going to have to push in. Every single side is going to have a fight on it.
Yeah.
And it's just absolute chaos on this push.
And not only that, but the blue zone is also starting to do a whole hell of a lot of more damage. Graham spotting out one of the Avant-Garde players. I believe it's the last one on live.
Rosq are out as well in the meantime. And I believe that's Avant-Garde going down. 11 now teams invaded. I told you Zone 5, Phase 5 was going to be the end of it. There we go. Unique as well.
The absolute chaos of a circle. We have DM on the edge here. Now they're finally starting to take fights. Is it too little too late? They will have to wait and see. They haven't been aggressive so far, but they are getting kills. Sean Nuke's just getting himself a killing streak there. And oh my lord, Unique, they're sitting on the center dot, and they'll be up there for a little while longer.
DM's still in it, though. They're on that south side, and we're down to 8 teams. That was, I think, about 2 minutes, and we dropped half of the teams in the lobby.
Yeah. That shift was brutal for everyone, and well, I mean, it shows right there why and how it happened. Now the thing is, for all the teams that are trying to push up towards Paradise, they now have to figure, do we want to go through Paradise, or do we try and boat around it? But you have to make a move now, because in 15 seconds, that circle's going to close once again.
Exactly, and it's straight over onto Unique, as we were talking about before. That's a really good start for them. Like, well, more to the end now, but they are going to be in a really strong spot. They're going to have those buildings. They have the cover. You can see they've even got a player out on that flank, and everybody's going to start to snake in because, of course, the density of these players has really, really decreased.
Honestly, Unique was, alongside Hell, they came in there earlier, but Unique was the only team that dared saying, you know what, we're going to cross the rope, we're going to go for it early, because we know if we get there too late, it's simply going to be impossible to get in there. And now, sure, the circle does hard shift towards them. That's fortunate, but them getting this compound is well rewarded, and it required good scouting up before, and they did that too.
They spotted out DM as well. Out go the nades. They've already got the knock.
Ooh, Matic is down.
He is going to be safe for now. The teammate can make that push if they drop a little bit of smoke and try and cover them off. The rest of the team, though, they are still up and alive. Plenty of cover from Hell and Gold in the same building. Looking to go for that contestation there. Not quite in the zone just yet.
You see Old Boy already sitting at 5 kills. They were fighting from the start, Unique, and now they've got themselves into a really, really good spot in the circle. This circle is going to start excluding more and more of Paradise as we speak. And as you can see here, Golden Hell Flamingo was all hill sitting here before, but now they got this company pretty much shared 2-2.
Oh, Team Queso taking heavy punishment going down from Hell, raining it down onto Kuma as well. Team did just get eliminated as, from there. That's going to be Kuma going out as Hell take them down. But Gold are downstairs and they're ready and waiting.
Yeah, they have to find out how they're planning on making the jump on off. And once again, the circle's completely excluding the Paradise, or at least the main resort. I guess you can say that the building that Unique is in is part of the same terrain or same area, but leaving the main area. And holy cow, that's an 8 right in the money.
Look at that shot as well, over onto White. Decent headshot, just with a nice little angle found.
That's what you got to be able to do. That's why we need to play these maps over and over and over again. And this shows right here, they know all these small cheeky angles. And you need to be able to do them. You need to get them in your way. And Rob gets himself a good one.
Goes in.
Gets the finish off too. One more player to deal with.
You see, he's just jumped out the window. They will know what's going on now. Going for that push out wide. But there's some backup for From Hell.
Nice.
Are they going to be able to take one more team down now? 5 remain.
Really smart double peek from them. And look at this DM, despite being forced into fights all the time,
From
still
Hell
managed to get here. But they're getting pushed from behind. Not able to get the push on up immediately, though. One more goes down. That's going to be the third around the corner. That's going to be all of them down. And only one lives to see another day here.
And they are going to get eliminated. DM holding their ground. The blue zone not in the favor of From Hell. That's going to leave them up. But Matic is down. They're eliminated. They go down in 4th. But a decent start to their potential last couple of games. But now we're down to the final 2 teams. It's Unique. I believe they're taking on Team K. So only one player there. And Unique are able to clinch it out. Very nicely done. And it is going to be them chaotic. With a very high kill game. Team Queso, though, 3 players. They still play second.
I was going to say they were fighting Erangel practically the entire game. Yeah. And somehow, everybody decided to go on the western side of Paradise. It gave them so much room to maneuver because they were fighting on the edge. We're like, guys, you got to move soon. You're going to be in the blue. You have to start doing something here. Like, what are you guys doing so far out on the edge? And all of a sudden, they said, you know what? We're just going to go the side that we don't see anyone at. And he just chilled for the longest of time and got themselves into second place.
That's pretty much that's a result.
Got to do what you got to do, yeah, for sure.
That's really strong coming out from Team Queso. So a nice start for them. But of course, we saw Unique. They held out. They got really good beg your pardon, circle shift.
You're right over there.
Yeah, no, I was just just having a moment. But no, Old Boy as well. He got 7 kills in that game. Really, really turning up. The rest of the team doing very, very well. A high kill game coming in from them. They have got off to a really good start here at the finals.
They have, and that's what we were talking about before. Those early kill engagements, if you don't lose players, they can really work out for you because they will add that kind of crisp to the top of your cake right there. But the thing
Crisps
is,
on a cake,
whatever, you know what I mean.
Cherry.
There
you go.
There, thank you. English. No, but it works out. But had they lost the one player early in any of those engagements that they took, they might not have been able to make it to that compound the way that they did, and that could have been them going out way earlier than they got. So really, really smart in both getting kills, but constantly, you saw when they were moving around, never take chances, never leave one guy alone, constantly have one there to back him up so that if you get a player knocked, always have one to come in with the rest.
And so the player I'm looking at from that team is Old Boy. You know, we saw him get 7 kills in that game, and we saw him be very, very dynamic, very aggressive, as you were talking about before. So will that be able to roll on forwards? Will the team be able to rally around that? Because that's really the wild card that gave them this game. And Sanhok is known for being very chaotic, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're going to be playing multiple maps. And I mean, honestly, for one team, that's what I'm looking for here. For one team to be able to play consistent throughout all 4 maps, that requires a lot because they are very different, both in terrain, obviously, and in how you're supposed to play them in order to win. There isn't one meta that goes across all the maps. You have to be able to adapt your playstyles to the map that you're on. And if one team can show, I mean, if Unique can go out and do the same thing on Erangel or Miramar, for that sake of Vikendi, that would be absolutely insane to see.
We'll have to see what they're able to do. Of course, it's Vikendi that is next coming up today. So over on to the Icy Wastelands. We'll see what people are able to do. Obviously, a little bit less familiar with this map. So a lot of the teams has been out for that long. But by now, they should know what's up, certainly in this tournament meta. Because that's really what matters when you look at these things, is the micro meta. Because every single, even the different regions, they have their different ways of playing. We know India, particularly the show that we were working on before, they really, really like their compounds. They have broken out a little bit more over into that terrain style play, but Are Europe going to be able to stand up? Are they going to be able to adapt? Look at those other regions and see what's going on. If you want to check out what's going on with the other regions, by the way, you can head over to the website. That's clubopen.pubgmobile.com underneath me. And, of course, you can head over to the YouTube channel and hit subscribe, ring that notification bell, which, of course, is PUBG Mobile Esports. And you can check out all the action there. If you're watching already, just scroll down on YouTube. Just scroll down and hit that red button. It's
also,
as easy as that.
I mean, if you're watching these tournaments, maybe not being a specific... I mean, you're probably EU biased in the sense that I assume at least most of the viewers here are from the EU.
Yeah.
But if you want to get the bigger picture of what's about to happen or what's going to happen in the end of July when we get to the grand finals, I believe me, and just off of seeing this one game, there are regions that would have played this game completely different. We saw two teams in Paradise. No one dared to go in. There were so many teams on the edges. Had it been like a situation like India, so many more teams would have crashed on in early. But look at the points here. Despite only being 3 guys in and fighting for the entirety of it, Queso still sitting solid in second.
Yeah, that's certainly some strong manchego coming out. Some nice cheese from Spain. They are going to be able to get that 25-point start, but almost double that. Team Unique, 44.
Yeah.
Strong performances coming out from, again, the Formia Meditari. They are going to get 24 on the board. That's a decent start. That's a really strong average to be putting up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially considering the push they had to make there in the end. Really, really nice performance coming out of there. A team that I'm looking to see, though, coming into it. Rescue, 4 points in this one. They were sitting in third in the semifinals, and we talked about how maybe you can have 2 bad games if you want to sit top 3 in the end of things. I mean, they came into this really strong, right? And now they've kind of already used that one, not really bad game, but the one bad game they can afford. So I'm looking for them to maybe not change up. Obviously, we've only seen them play 1 game, but they've used it. Like they used the retry early on, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you've also looking at teams like Avangar and Ultra Team. They both had pretty, sub 10-point games. There. I think it was 9 points and 7 points, something like that, just on the scoreboard there. But that's not the performance you want. As you say, they are using those lifelines and they're using them early. Now, if you look at the averages that these teams are putting up, they can start to claw this back. They can, they can get those chicken dinners on board. They have 10 games to do so. So it is pretty closely knit. So we'll see how they're able to do. But they are the teams that we're going to be looking at. If they drop another poor game, that's going to be really bad. They've got 4 more to play today, and if that Sanhok game is anything to go by, they aren't quite on the best of form.
Yeah, that's it's going to be interesting to see, but of course I'll have to wait until we get back to the next games. I'm just excited to see so many games being played here. 10 games, and then we get to determine which of the 16 teams get to go.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like you're looking at a lot of these teams to be moving forward to that top spot, but. That is our first map of the finals for the European region at the PMCO. When we come back after this short break, we'll be heading over onto Vikendi, where we'll see how they're going to stack up. Is it going to be a little bit less chaotic? We'll find out after the break.
play PUBG Mobile for free.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding the skill will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open European Finals. My name is John Allen. With me is Toby, and we are going to be getting into some more action. We saw Unique take Sanhok, the first game of today, with 14 kills. A really good start.
That was interesting, and as we talked about in the game as well, the fact that they dared, as opposed to pretty much everyone else other than Hell that had been there from not the start, but earlier, they were like, okay, so we have two chances here. Either it goes outside of the city, or outside of Paradise Resort, which... it's fine because we're already outside.
Yeah.
Or it goes inside, and then we have to get there because then we'll be dead if we aren't there by the time that it goes in there.
Exactly.
And they said, it's a win-win for them. If you go there, you can always run back out. If you aren't there and it goes out, then it's fine too. But if you aren't and it does go there, then you get screwed. Sure. And that's what we saw. We saw, like as you said in the stream as well, half the teams died within like a minute and a half, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. That Phase 5 was probably one of the bloodiest we've seen so far. It's all due to Paradise Resort, of course, because that's really the only place you could go.
Yeah.
And it's due to the fact that not many people were able to get there early. We'll see. But yeah, if you want to check out the standings from that previous game, you can head over to the website. That's clubopen.pubgmobile.com, handily displayed underneath me. And you can check out the replays over on the YouTube channel, PUBG Mobile Esports.
Yeah, that's where you got to go. Also, as we said before, if you want to check out some of the other regions, they'll be on there as well.
On the website.
You can, of course, get all the info on the homepage. There are plenty of regions playing. We had the pleasure of covering the group stages and the semis for the Indian region. I don't know what he's doing over there. Kind of Mr. Beanie moves. Oh yeah,
they took it away.
I wonder
was
why
channeling
now.
my inner Rowan Atkinson.
Oh, that's yeah. You're doing well. I
think
it. Yeah. Also, he has like a greenish jacket as well.
That's Mr. Bean. That's my Mr. Bean impression. Did you know Mr. Bean has an incredibly large global audience because he doesn't say a lot, which means all his comedy is
obviously it's
physical.
all mute. Yeah, exactly.
He's very big in the East.
Yeah, and also I'm sure he's sitting and watching the PUBG, and he's probably checking out the homepage as well. So you should go do the same thing.
If you want to be like Mr. Atkinson, then you can check it out.
Yeah,
there we go. But of course, Unique, they had a really strong performance. But a team that we saw and were looking to see as well were Deformia Meditari, and they have put up 24 points, which is a very strong game.
Yeah, they were one of the few teams that actually didn't go to begin with, but made it there anyway, kind of. Now the circle was, like, they were on the correct side of the city. They pushed up the western side, which made sense. You can see the point of the first game right there as well, and that's why they get themselves up into that third spot. They weren't on the busiest side, but still, as you could see, they had a very narrow passage to run on up, and they realized that because they ran up, they secured the top of it, but then they didn't just overcommit and try and take the fight with Unique. They said, nope, we gotta secure our backs as well. And right as they turned it around, boom, here comes Hell. 4 men strong, and they took them all out. So great effort by them.
Yeah, they had the circle advantage because unfortunately 4Hell had to push towards them, and they just had to get it done. Of course, quite a few teams over on that right-hand side of the screen that we just had, not in the best of spots. As you were saying, everyone has one, maybe two, if they've got it in them. Lifeline games where you can be putting up, 7 to 10 points, something like that, a low-scoring game. But you can't be doing more than that. No. Certainly not if you want to be in that top 3, because that's what everyone's gunning for.
That is the thing. If you don't know and if you didn't watch earlier, these guys are, of course, this region has the finals and all, but there's an even bigger final. It's not even the final form of this tournament. No, there is a grand final happening in the end of July, and of course, these guys, that'll be where all the regions get combined. We'll get that global final, and that's going to be one hell of a big one. And there's only 3 spots for all these 16 teams to fight for. The first place team will go directly. They don't even have to play anything else. They just go like, you're already in, you'll play. And these second 2 teams, the second and the third place off of tomorrow's games, will get to play in the prelims. So they qualify with some of the other regional teams, and they'll play for those other 8 slots in the grand finals. Yeah,
every region playing in the PMCO at the moment will have that top spot going straight there. SCA will have 2, because of course they are the host region for I think the PMCO. So I think they get 2 direct spots, and then everyone else will get 1 or 2 prelim spots as well. So
it's crazy.
It is pretty nutty,
yeah. I mean, if you guys think this has been a clash of teams being different levels and teams coming from different, even though we're within Europe, we have got CAS, we got Turkey, we got. There are teams from all over playing within this region, right? And they might play different. You could have a team from France play completely different as opposed to a team from Russia. But now we're talking global. I mean, and that's why we recommend you guys to go to the YouTube, go to the Club Open side as well, because you get to sit and see some of these Chinese teams, some of these Japanese teams, some of these Indian teams, and believe me, you can see the same map, the same circles, and the games are unfolded completely differently.
It is very, very different in terms of pacing, which is going to be super interesting to see how it turns out. But we're over into game number 2. It's over onto Vikendi.
It's a snowy map we got in front of us, and I'm excited to see where this one is headed. Similarly to, oh my god, that's Western. I was going to say similarly to Sanhok, the river can come into play, but nope, it's no river here. It's just a lot of ocean.
That is a really strong circle. That is a huge shift over on Dobromesto. But I tell you who's in there. It's unique. Look at
and
that.
DM as well. They knew. They knew beforehand.
They knew. They've been eating their magnets this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Got all the magnesium they needed in order to make those circles go in that direction. Now, this one is going to be tricky because Dobromesto is a huge city out on the western side. And as you can see here, Unique has it all to themselves. But then when you go east from that, we like to talk about Vikendi being the more compound-heavy area from that. But from Dobromesto all the way to Goroka, there is not a lot of compounds. It's very open. It's a scarce open terrain. Sure, you have hills and whatnot, but it's extremely open terrain. And for these teams to fight them out there in the late game, that is going to be difficult.
It's going to be tricky, certainly. Because with those hard shifts away from water, it is going to start to move them inland a little bit more and see what they can get done. Of course, all those teams on the east, they do have plenty of time because of the way that these competitive circles are working.
Yeah.
Zone 1, you could see you got, over 4 minutes on the board, so you're going to be fine to drop there and make those rotations, but you need to be going in those convoys, in those vehicles, separate vehicles. Because of course,
separate, by the way.
Separate being the key word there, because we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Teams stack up, teams get shot, teams die. That's not how you want to be operating. You want to get split up at least into 3. That's 4 ideally, but 3 is okay, a good start. Already, though, from hell, they're getting shot by M19.
Foxy did manage to make his way on over to get the rest on up, and you did not want to go out early if you're Hill here. We just saw Rescue on our screens before as well. They were about to do their engagement. They got themselves 4 points in the previous game off of getting into 3rd place overall in the semis, right? They need to win that fight if they're going to take it. Now Foxy's trying to stay behind to get some heals on up as Robin trying to make the run on over. But now the M19 players, they're pushing and they're getting down Foxy.
Foxy does go down indeed. They lose the player. It is confirmed. And M19, they start their compound breach successfully.
Yeah, I do believe that this push was a little prematurely done, to be honest, because there were 4 players there. They knew who was inside the building. You have the players around you. And honestly, it had Foxy pull off a crazy double headshot there, that could have been him getting the finish off as well. And sure, he might go down. But as we saw before as well, you don't want to lose a player in these situations if you had a chance of just holding it for a second longer and doing something with it. Are they baiting this? He's in the car. He's in the car, pulling the throttle like win, and looking if they're coming. That was on purpose. That was 100% on purpose.
This is forgivable to be in the same car at this stage because they've only found 1 car. They need to split off as soon as possible.
This is forgivable because they pulled off a super smart play in order to secure that they weren't going to push in the vehicle. He was sitting in there. 1 guy, they first they all went 4 in there. They're like, no, this is a bad idea. Yeah. So they leave 1 guy in there. They go like, win. And then they take the 3 guys out by the doors to sit. They're going to push. They're going to try to get the vehicle kill. And we'll take them out. That was a huge trap. And fortunately for Rescue, they were ready for it. I don't know how they were ready for it because I've never seen a play like that before. But that was extremely smart. And, well, I mean, for these guys, great effort.
There they go.
Love to see it.
They make that rotation. They get away. Scot-free. Nicely done. Nicely done. Obstruction and Team Queso down the hill. Only 1 player from Team Queso there. It's going to be Carrick.
Queso got themselves a good 2nd place last game, despite being in rough situations with Erangel for the majority of that one. And now it seems like they've found themselves into a stalemate once again. That's kind of the entire game they had in the previous one. And Carrick is just, he's just chilling.
Just having a good time. Just hanging out by some barrels, by that level 1 helmet.
I love his UMP. It looks like one of those super
soakers. Wilson. He definitely spots out JC.
Yeah, he must know that he's up there. But for JC, as you can see, I'm not sure he's spotting those feet because Carrick ain't really moving.
Not sure. Yeah, I don't think he spotted it either.
He knows he's down there somewhere. Probably heard the steps before, saw some open doors, but not really committed in trying to find him. And I like that they're taking their time on this one. No reason to over-aggress. No reason to lose a player early. As you can see, neither Euro Voice or their 3rd teammate, Kumkai over there, are in a position to help him should he get knocked. So take your time. Your 4 guys up now. Let them come over and then push it down together. If you know he's down there, just, take your time. You have the space to move around anyway.
You got nothing to prove to anyone other than how many kills your team can get in the game, how far up that ladder you can get. And this is exactly what you're talking about. Just wait, bide your time, spot it out, goes for the spray though. Is going to get 1, gets knocked for his trouble.
Perfect play. Even though they lose a player, or they didn't, even though they get a player knocked, they were willing to take that sacrifice and the risk of that happening because they had them pushing together. Now, had he pushed over alone and he would have been allowed to flush him, huge mistake. But right there, they were eliminating which places he could be in. They got 1 knock. It was like, you know what? that was part of the deal, kind of. We didn't lose anyone in the end. Smart
However,
play.
Team Queso, they placed second with 3 players before.
Oh, yeah.
So they still have 3 players on the cards. They're still live and kicking, certainly, into this next game.
Yeah, no,
Formia Meditari, just with their own compound. Yet again, of course, the circle did go over to them.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing it so insane in the semis. And you see it right here as well. When we jump over to some of these other teams that are inside the circle already, they'll just be sitting in their room, kind of chilling, maybe listening to a good piece of music on their playlist. Probably not. But you know what I mean? They'll just be chilling. Whereas to here, look at these TM players. They're never sitting still, constantly moving around, trying to secure where are people coming from. Where can we go to shoot that next circle shift away from us? You gotta constantly scout forward in the off chance that it should be shifted away from.
The only thing on their playlist right now is the sound of the death of their enemies.
Yeah.
It's going to come through.
Makes
but
sense.
it's Obstruction, actually, going to be getting some frags. Again, going to get it done. I believe that was onto Be My Loot as well, just over the way. See, there's some vehicles rotating past them, and they are just going for those shots, those spray downs, seeing what they can pick up.
Vehicle damage coming in and getting themselves some knock, a knock and a finish off of it too. It's always dangerous, but I like to see that they get them that despite the fact that you saw BML actually rotate in multiple vehicles. So they focused their fire on one car and they got them down.
But that's the reason why you go into multiple vehicles, because otherwise your entire team would have just
That could have been a wipe,
completely
yeah,
shut
for sure.
down.
That could have been a full wipe.
See, here is Ultra Team as well. They've got 2 UAZs in that compound with them. So they will be able to roll out when the time comes. But for now, they're going to be nice and secure. Of course, this first circle only just closing.
Yeah, and Ultra, they were fighting real early in that previous game and didn't really go the way they wanted. Sure, they got a kill early, but they also lost one. And then when it came to those later game fights, it became really tough for them. And once again, now BML losing players. This rotation, they were rotating far. They were coming in far from the eastern side. And they were all clearly they were not quite aware of where some of these teams were landing because they've been driving from one team to another all the way throughout.
Team Queso, they're still going. They're still in it. Of course, so would Be My Loot. 16 teams remain, 59, so small levels of casualty at this stage. But it is very early to see this number of deaths.
Just got to chill, just got to wait it out and hope that some of these circles now come your way and trying to avoid confrontations maybe. And avoid rotating with vehicles. For the most part, I mean, I get when you're far on the edge, but for the most part, Vikendi, I feel like it's small enough that you can play without vehicles. I mean, sure, if you get hard shifted away now, the circle is already far western. So for the initial rotation, sure, it makes sense to take those vehicles, but then maybe don't go right through the middle. Just take those edge rotations and try and see if you can get somewhere safe. Grota coming in handy with a tac stock, and I always question that because there are no weapons in the crates that allow for the use of tac stocks. So
Well,
why
I
is
mean,
it there?
You can just grab a bit of duct tape, whack it onto the back of the Groza.
Ooh, yeah, true.
No, that's tails.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just like to remix things up, you know?
Ah, a little bit of a
I do that.
maestro over here.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Just pump your SoundCloud out while you're at it.
That's, yeah.
But here's the Epic Gang. They have a team a little bit further to their north as well, just encroaching on. I think that's Team K. No, it's Magic.
Ooh, that's what I call a bait crate. They were waiting for them. They saw the red flag coming down on the other side, and they were expecting a team to roll up on it, but they are not getting the damage done that they were hoping for here.
They're up into the US as well. Magic might have just got away with this one. I think they have.
Thank you for the Groza.
They scatter like ants.
They got it.
Like roaches in the sunshine.
That's unfortunate. And for Epic, honestly, I mean, at least put yourself... If you're playing off of the fact that this crate could allow for us to get some free kills, or free-ish kills, then at least put yourself into a position where you can see them, because they were still behind the broken wall. They had the building for cover. I mean, if you're trying to plan it and position yourself accordingly, then at least get within nade distance or something like that. That could have been a whole different scenario for them.
Yeah, maybe play a little bit more aggressive. That's what we've talked about. Europe, very, very passive. That's sort of the idea here. Of course, with placements being so important, you can understand it.
And I don't mind playing passive at all. That's what you got to do. But in the chance where you can get free kills, I mean, where they're just kind of gifted to you, like in this situation, you got to go more aggressive. Tommy, he's realizing now that this was a bad idea. Trying to zigzag through multiple teams. Somehow he's still alive. Vehicle blown up, though. Now he's on his feet.
Tommy, more like DK, Drift King. Just slipping and sliding around. Not anymore, though. He is going to get taken down. Avangard, actually, this time fired on. So Ultra Team, they have got that enemy over the way, but with ASE already losing a player as well. Another knock. That's pretty disastrous this early on.
That is a tough start for them. Not the kind of game you want to get off from the bat here on the snowy fields of Vikendi. Now, new circle is going to pop in just a short moment. as we see this one closing to an end. And we were already far west. I mean, of course, there's a lot of water in it, and that's a big factor. But how much more water can we get inside the next one? Because right now, I mean, if you look at landmass and what you really have available, we're sitting at somewhere between Circle 2 and Circle 3, potentially. If it goes even further west now, that would be not a whole lot of space for these players to move around on.
There's a lot of players grouping up towards Dobromesto as well. So if it's a northern shift, that's going to be huge because of that wasteland that you were talking about around Dobromesto. That rotation is going to be so difficult.
It's where you see the crate right now, where you see PMLP as well. That's just really, really open. Sure, you have like here, you have some trees and cover here and there, but those trees, I mean, they only cover you from a solid 90-degree angle, right? So you get shot from either sides, and you just cannot position yourself accordingly if there are too many teams around.
Here's another crate going down. There's 2 teams with players in vehicles, but only one of them is actually going for the crate. Going to be able to get away with that one. A Groza, an extended mag. No tactical stock this time around, Toby. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll be fine. There's no tac stock.
No tac stocks are needed at all. Either rotations are coming in from Erangel. They've realized they don't want to sit around for too much longer. And the new winners of Game 1, Old Boy and Unique, they're making their rotation on up as well.
They were actually the team who were going to be able to get that Groza on board as well.
Yeah,
so
it seems like the circle has gone north too, because everyone is making their way further up north, even north of where the Dobromesto is. You can see Magic sitting up here with some high ground positioning. UMP doesn't do that much damage at a distance, but still, it's pretty decent weapon to put in the hand of a talented player.
Unique actually pretty close, and they are going to be able to get up some kills. They have got Overwatch as well. The spray downs can come through. Avangard in the firing lines. A team that was doing so well in the semis. They didn't do super well last game, and this time around they get wiped out in 16th.
Wow, and look at the way Unique has positioned in order to get the kills that they do here. Really smart playing. Now BML, they were all by themselves for the longest of time, and somehow Gold just gave them a freebie. But how many more players are going to come here? There's still 3 more to go, and he does not have a whole lot of chances. Nope. Down goes him.
Does get the confirm though onto one of the players from the Golden Boys esports. So with a Z, that is. Not in esports, in the boys.
Oh, should have been in both, right?
Probably should have been. Yeah.
Like you all know.
You got to commit.
Yeah, esports.
Esports.
In any case, Circle's closing in. I would love to know where exactly it has gone, but
yeah, I mean, this circle is still covering the entirety of Dobromesto, so
yeah, and there's got to be quite a bit of water in it because it's a shore city, like a harbor city, right? So it's
a new one
be
hasn't come in just yet, but on the close, it is going to be pretty interesting to see where it does fall. At the moment, obstruction, they have Overwatch because, of course, they would have heard that firefight from the Golden Boys.
Yeah, it's going to be... it's always these things with compounds, because compounds grant you so much cover, they grant you that peak advantage and everything, but once or if you do it, because you can see right here, Kingsman, he can peek out, he can get a ton of info without really being at a risk himself, but if they do have to leave at some point, that's also your opponent knowing exactly where you'll be leaving from. X amount of windows, X amount of doors, and I think they just saw him. He must have, right? And now they're precision. I love this. Look at the way they're maneuvering around. Now other teams are, of course, starting to third party just to ruin it kind of for them. But look at the way they're positioning to try and pin them inside the compound. I love this rotation from the guys.
It's going pretty well for them at the moment. Of course, though, there is a lot of places that the Golden Boys can go. Yeah. They can just head out. They can bug out the back. But M19, being that thorn in the side, means that their escape might be a little bit easy. You can see this next circle about to pop now.
Where are we going? More water? Yep, there's a little bit of water in it, and there's a lot of people on the south. Now look at Kuma and Epic, how much space they have to maneuver around up there. I'm looking for some of these teams, maybe even Unique on the western side. They know their entire coastline is free. Get up on the northern side. We saw them before. They really knew when to take those rotations in order to avoid being part of that whole bottleneck situation. So make the move now before all these other teams do, because once it comes to that next circle, circle 5 potentially, that will be where all these teams start crumbling like flies.
M249, pretty deadly when in the right hands, in capable hands, which of course most of these players are going to be.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they've made it this far, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it could be a pretty decent drop for whoever's able to get it. There are teams rotating just underneath it for now. Are they going to stop and get it, or are they more concerned with the firefights that they have yet to take? I think they're a little bit more concerned with getting that position.
Yeah, and you pretty much have to at this point. I mean, sure, their weapon on ice level 3 gets good as well, but there's also level 3 available in the houses, so it's not like very... I mean, it doesn't give you as much of a benefit as it does when you play on PC, where you can't get those level 3 helmets only in the crates. So it's a little different priority, I think, in aspect of crates when it comes to mobile gaming.
That was a nice snipe knock over onto one of the Epic Gang team members. Unique have control of that coastline, and they are going to find a frag already. They've already got that knock out onto one of the vehicles. Nice start, and Unique, again, they are displaying some really good skills here.
And the thing is, we said before, you can never take too many risks early on, and Unique aren't, and they're still getting kills. They're positioning themselves in spots where they know we will have the advantage in any fight coming our way here. They're positioning themselves on the rotation paths and whatnot to get those kills, and now we see DM as well. Warfarin took a lot of shots in the direction of the enemies, but he goes down immediately after. Now multiple teams are pushing in, and Unique is one of them.
DM, they've already lost a player. One of them is knocked. Unique, they've taken down Avangard, and they're looking to turn it onto Deformia. See what else they can get. We'll get the confirm. Kitsune able to get it done there, but there's 2 teams still left alive and kicking. If we know anything about DM, is that they are consistent.
6
they're taking a lot of damage
already here for Unique.
Looks for the spray. They know where he is. Peeks in, goes for the shots, but he's not going to be able to get it. 1 down, and now it's just Nukes left standing.
It's going to be hard, and he somehow has to disengage, but as you can see, Unique, they're hunky and they're hungry, they're hunting, and they will not let him go out easy.
No, I mean, and of course, that's
especially when
really
you know what team you're up
because
against.
they've just taken down 2. They've just been really taking the hurt towards 2 of the top teams in the tournament at this stage.
I think Nukes is going to nuke himself.
We go.
Yep. Unique does get the kill in the end of things. That's going to be him taken down, and that's going to be the team that were completely untouchable throughout the entire season semifinals. Eliminate in 15th place with 0 kills.
Well, I don't know what Unique have been doing, but they certainly have got a little bit more gumption than the rest of them. That's the thing. They're hunting. They're playing aggressive. And they know that a lot of these teams will not be because they want those placements. They want to get up there. So they're capitalizing, and they're doing it fantastically.
They're catching teams off guard. And if you look again, I mean, the same way they played it on Sanhok earlier, the way that they were taking fights, the way they were pushing around, moving together, even when they're in a 4v1, even when they know exactly what Shang, what corner he's in, they always take their time. They never over-aggress. They play it super smart as a team. And I don't think you'll see them take a fight where they do these clumsy things so one guy kind of get finished off for no reason. Now, Circle does go inland, fortunately. No more water fights happening. Gold, they're sitting, well, pretty much center. But as you can see in between these 3 cities, there's a lot of open terrain.
It's so barren there. Everybody on that western front is going to really struggle to push out because they have to fight each other as well as getting over that tundra. So
Ross Q as well on the edge of the circle. They're going to get their rotation game going here. 2, make that 3 vehicles. 2 snowmobiles and a snow bike to make the rotation on in. Where are they headed, though? Are they going to go for a center spot somewhat open, or are they going to try and sort of maneuver their way around the edges here?
Unique looking to push over towards Magic, though. Potentially making their way over. They might just want to skirt around, though. They know these compounds are going to be occupied.
Yeah, scout and move and scout and move and scout and move. That's all you can do from here. 10 seconds to go until that circle's going to start closing on it. And as you can see, Gold, I mean, they're sitting bank center. But how many kills can they get from here? That's a big question. Everyone knows that they're there. So I don't think anyone's really going to try and even contest their compound for the longest of time. Now Unique, they got rotation kills already, and they're lining it up. We're not seeing anything in the kill feed yet.
They're getting a lot of damage chucked on their way. 2 of them, both in the same vehicle. They're the last 2 standing for their team, but they somehow make it through the Valley of Death.
That was really, really fortunate. Somehow Unique, they missed shots that they normally wouldn't have. And we live to see another day. But now again, for Unique, I mean, they were sitting there. They were waiting. They weren't rotating. They were saying there will be people coming this direction. And indeed there were. And unfortunately for them, though, they didn't get the kills. Now they have to make the move on in.
Just slowing it down now. Everyone's waiting for this next circle. Everybody's waiting for this one to push them in because it's so crucial here. M249 just getting dropped straight onto obstruction. Then we'll get that 4x as well with it. So
not
a nice little re-armor as well. A little bit outside the walls. They might not want to go for it just yet, but it's got enough cover that it is reasonable that they should go for it.
You can see always he's jumping around trying to figure if anyone's looking his direction. At least put some, but like if you're going to send out one guy to get it looted, just have another guy there looking over his top. Because if there's a guy shooting at you, outside that he's standing still. And if your helper can spot him out, that could be a free knock coming in for you. So use the crate runner as kind of a bait to maybe get a knock and a kill off your direction.
Forcing peaks, that's the name of the game, especially in third person.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got to use everything that you can to your advantage. And that's how I liked, I mean, the way they were trying to bait out the vehicle move early on in the game there. I mean, it's all these small things that teams will do that because it's not something you see very often. Now Circle, though. That's something you see too often. Hardships coming in, this one being a southern one. Kuma, they had all the room in the world this time around, though. They have a tough rotation to make.
But it is over towards that south, as you say. So those teams on that southwest that we talked about before having a tough time are going to have that a little bit alleviated.
Yeah, they can chill around for a little while longer at least. You see White here trying to look on forward. Does have a beast of a weapon in his hands.
Yeah, it's the SLR, I believe.
I think it's an AWM.
Was it? Oh, maybe with an extended mag. Oh, I didn't clock it.
Very, very dangerous weapon, especially if you put it in the hands of a guy with good bolt action sniper mechanics. Of course, that's required. You only have 20 bullets to use. I'm the kind of guy that when I play with the AWM, I have it for so long and then I don't use all the bullets before I die.
It's like stacking up your health potions, right? When you're playing RPGs or like,
exactly.
And you end up with 50 minor potions of healing.
Now, Besiktas and Rasku here, they found themselves in the same compound, 4v4 potentially. But does Rasku know that there are indeed people inside the compound? That's the question. They're running around a little carelessly. Not sure if they have the info needed. They are looking around, though. They are looking around.
Yeah, I think the Besiktas certainly know what's up.
Yeah, well, they heard the vehicles come in, right? So they must know.
But, yeah, Roscu, they are playing a dangerous game here. Although they have made this decent compound breach to start, and they actually have the pressure. They have 2 of those buildings. Oh, dear, from hell. They're rolling straight in the middle of Unique. But
Unique again. Positioning where rotations are coming through.
That's them out.
They're doing it all the time. They're doing it all the time, positioning according to where the pressure points are in the next circle. And they're getting free kills from it. Unique has yet to be shot back at any of the kills they've had, other than the DMC, or the DM fight they had earlier. Other than that, DMC is that's an old hip-hop group. It's different. Yeah, run DMC. Woohoo, gotta love it.
Big up to my boys.
Shout out to
Team Queso going down. They're not going to be pretty happy with that one. No fondue tonight. But it's the Golden Esports boys facing off against the Epic squad.
A fight waiting to happen. Gold was sitting in the center for the longest of time. Now they're on the edge, and teams are making their way in their direction.
That's so dangerous.
Yeah, look at Spear, how he's sitting. He sees one, gets into first-person view, but not going to happen. Graham had him completely lined up, and out goes Epic Gang. Now New Circle's about to holy cow. These hard shifts, man. Everyone's thinking, oh, it's going south. Unique is all the way down there. And I'd love to see this. Unique is getting good games despite having circles go completely again. Look at them. They're the furthest away team right now, and I'm interested in seeing how they're going to move in this one.
They're the team to beat as well, it seems, at this stage. Certainly, it's only one game, well, 1.5 games in now. But they have so many strong showcases of why they're playing so well. And with only a day in between these matches, it's going to be difficult to adapt.
Also going from map to map to map, we're not getting, as you said earlier, any bounce back on double maps in a row. You will have to keep the info. You have to keep your knowledge on what happened on that map and sort of bring it up tomorrow. Because I believe we only see Vikendi once, right? Do we have it twice in a day?
No, not today.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we only have one Vikendi.
Exactly. So you play Vikendi again tomorrow, and there's going to be so many games played in between here. Sure, they write down notes and they watch for the VODs after this is over. But that's a lot of knowledge you need to keep in mind for the next games. And with only 2 games being played here, everything can happen. Now, Carla does go down. Also secures the finish off on towards her. I believe it must be. Carla, that's a... At least to me, that's usually a woman's name. Carla, Carl,
I have
Carla.
no idea. I just don't.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Flame him. Really, really heavy. Like, you know, in the worst way. But
for any man,
they're rotating in. They're taking punishment, though, actually.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. They're trying to make that vehicle rotation on through, but now they're the ones getting caught out in their vehicles, losing 2 players immediately. Still more players to fight on through the Akuma on the eastern edge, trying to hold off OBS, and that is a little replay coming in as he went down and out. Euro, that's a lot of... yeah, there you go. Besiktas and Roscu still in the same compound, have yet to really engage on one another. But as you can see, I think at this point, with Roscu running around this compound and not inside, look at how they're just positioned. They just took the northern compounds, and now they're trying to...
oh, dear.
Run! Did you just made yourself?
I think that was a little bit of a team interference there, but M19, they're taking the fight, will not go well for them. Magic able to eliminate them.
Not only that, but I think he might just be able to pull off all his teammates, too. That would be absolutely huge if he can. And look at the way Roscu, they maneuvered around here. They isolated him. They now have the better side of the circle, and they can wait for them to make the move. Besiktas had a chance to make the move around the west to go up and take the northern compound, or building in the compound, but not going to happen. Unique, losing down 3 players, 3 guys on their knees right now, but still one running around. Still alive.
Yeah, they should be all right for now, but old boy, I believe that was a confirm as well. It's not going to be too good for them. He was one of the most dynamic players, one of the players that we were saying we were looking out for. With him going down, that's going to put them in a bit of a tricky spot. But Besiktas, they're taking punishment. 2 knocks going over as they start to go for the push. Onto the bike he goes. Will he be able to get up the speed in order to make it happen? No, he will not. And he's shut down.
This is going to be so hard for Oski to make the run on up. They have a tough task at hand, and Nagi now all by himself, trying to hold off as all these teams trying to make their way in their direction.
And that was it. Team Unique out.
Wah, wah. Seventh place, though, with a ton of kills, too. So they're still going to find themselves, I believe, within the top 5 in the overall leaderboards of the game.
A single poor rotation really lost that.
Yeah.
They took the fight with ASE. And they just weren't in the spot. They were all grouped up. I believe there were at least 2 of them in the same vehicles.
Yeah, they got hard shifted away from them. They had really rough rotation to make. They even did try to make, like, to get the vehicles over to get some sort of cover where there was none. So smart in that sense, but they just drove right into the jaws. I mean, of death, pretty much.
Well, ASC, there are only 2 members as well, remember. So they got really lucky to get those knocks early on into the fight.
Now we'll see Ultra. They come off to a rough start in game 1, but now they've still got 4 guys alive. They're sitting a pretty decent spot on the eastern side of the circle. Magic, 3 guys up as well. And Roski, we talked about them needing a good game here. They got 4 points in game 1. Sure, they only have 4 kills so far, but they still have 4 guys alive, and we know what they're capable of doing in the end game.
Schlumpy's just been sat in this shack.
I'm chilling.
The whole time. I mean, he got a double kill. It's the site of his greatest victory, but... Is he going to be able to strike out too much more? He's right on the edge of the next circle.
Look at these angles. These guys from Ultra trying to get really using that high ground to their advantage.
They've got quite a lot of advantage there, as you say, but finally Rosq taking a little bit of hurt from Magic. A lot of damage being found, and actually if Ultra Team just look down the hill just a little bit, they might even spot out a couple of free kills coming through.
Yeah, Harp was knocked, but he got back up on his feet. We talked about him in the Sanhok game too. He was one of the guys way up on the top of the overall damage leaderboards. Now they do get 1 knock on towards the guys up and above. Ultra, they will need to put their focus over here, and you can see the help is starting to push on over. 1 guy goes down in return. That's a trade 1 for 1.
They will just be hiding on opposite sides. The toe gets spotted out, but not too much damage found from Moloko. Rosq, though, they have to push up if they want to get that res, whereas Ultra Team, they're going to be okay. That's Kuma going down finally, extricated from his shack.
He did all he could, and he got a lot of placement points off of it. Now damage is coming in, and he goes down. He's going to get flushed out as well. Now Harp is, I believe, him and Mello all by themselves, and they're just continuously trying to make the run up here instead of trying to go west around, but they are indeed trapped in the button down here. 5
teams now remaining. We're down to the final 5. Moving on forwards. 4 now is actually Kuma going out there.
Every single point matters at this
in
point.
that 5th place. And this is a very different final 5 to the one we saw last time around.
Everyone is on the edge, and with the center of the, well, I mean, the center of the circle is a big downhill slant, and holy cow, Ultra just got it sent over towards them on the eastern side once more. So the 2 teams currently sitting out west, Team 12 and 14. They have a tough task at hand, and if you can time it right, in all honesty, Ultra could be the ones really suffering from it, because they're really, not tunnel visioning, but focusing hard on what's happening with Rosq down here.
Finally finish off the kill behind the rock. We were going to get that Rosq down on 2. Of course, they did have another res to get through down the hill, but is he spot? Can he not see that?
I think he just saw him.
Yeah, not too sure if he was. Maybe it was just a little bit of a
too many fingers on the screen.
Yeah, just 1 or 2 many fingers on the screen. But there's 2 teams out to that west and 1 to the north.
1 nade here would be absolutely crucial. There are 2 players. You can hear the nades coming in now as well. Stark does take a headshot towards him. Down to half HP. Milo does as well, though.
As you were saying, nades, super important here. Magic and ASC all on those flanks as well. Ultra at the moment, they have a really strong position, but there's so many rocks here that you can just sort of play around them really nicely.
Yeah. They're splitting out nicely to get info, but if one guy gets knocked, they have to start committing to either one side or the other. Melo is trying to run around, buy himself some time to get on or not the side. I think he just did it now. Molotovs are coming up now to another pressure. Is starting to be put in from other sides as well. That forces Ultra back.
A couple of knocks coming through. Melo will be stopped in his rotation. Harp now, he's pushing up, will get shut down. That is Vasil from Magic to be able to take them down in 4th place. But now Magic are pushing for the threat onto Ultra.
It's going to be a 3-way fight here. It's going to be a difficult one, too. Ross getting 4th place is a great step up from their first game right there. And now Magic. 2 guys alive, Master and Vasil are trying to do damage, but we talked about it earlier, how trees only grant you so much cover, and he gets taken down from the side.
ASE, they are 2 players. They will get the res off Magic. Under threat now from Ultra. 4 players left alive. They have such an advantage here moving forwards. It's going to take a miracle maybe the team's teaming up against Ultra. And they've already managed to find one. They do trade it back, however, with ASE losing another down. That's going to be really tricky to get that one up.
Yeah, 1v4 here. I'm not seeing anything but an Ultra win. But then again, I mean, we have seen crazier things happen before, and we got to keep in mind the skill set of all these players. I believe Champion has 4 kills by himself so far. We see Rez is coming in. Stark gets back up on his feet. Back to 4 players once more, but this also allows for ASA to get up there second player.
1v2, v4. The powers of 2 collide.
In all honesty, all Vassils should do here is just try and tank it out and see how much longer he can stay put and hopefully force ASA and Ultra to fight before, because that one difference in placement points really is a lot of points in the end of things.
As they slow it down, this next circle is going to be what's pushing them in. It will close fully this time around, so you can see Ultra starting to position to a more central place. Both of these other teams, these outside teams, just do not want to be the first one to go down here. That's what they're looking for in this situation.
Ooh.
If Magic go out, if they lose that player, ASE, I'm expecting to see this push. So now they're down to 2. They can start to go for it. They have the res. They might just try and look for the push, but you can see, he's given up. He knows what's up, goes for the knock, but it's not going to be enough. And that is ASE going down in second. The clinch comes through, and it's Ultra to take the lead.
Great game for them. Moloko, 6 kills in this one as well. Ultra just played it really well. Unique, they did extremely well in this game too. They got a little bit earlier, but for Roscoe as well, really good game for them. They got 4 points in game 1, and this time around, they themselves, sure, it's only 4 kills, but they got a 4th place off of it as well. Really good performance to kind of bounce back from that first game.
Absolutely. The thing is, these teams, they need to be put, what the averages they're looking for are probably going to be around that 20, over 20, certainly. Probably more up towards the 23 points per game. In this final, because if you want to be in those top 3 spots, you need to be a top 3 performing team.
That's going to be interesting.
And that's kind of the averages that we're seeing across the board from multiple different regions to try and get to that top 3 spot.
And that's difficult. That's a lot of points.
For sure.
That's a hell of a lot of points.
That's a huge number of points. And we saw Unique, I think they got 3, 4, so I think they got 9 kills total. They placed 7th, which I can't remember the exact number of points off the top of my head, but that should be around that region.
Yeah.
Over 20, probably. But we'll take a look at the highlights and we'll catch up with that later on as well. But Unique, they went out in 7th. Ultra, though, they were the kings of the hill.
The way that Unique played this game, though, you got to give them kudos. And it also goes to show how, first of all, how much time they put into map knowledge and which positions work better than others, but also how well they play around one another, like how many hours they put into playing together. The way that they position, the way that they go for control on a single split instead of having 4 guys sit on top of each other, it's just so amazing to see. It seems like they never really doubt the reliability of their teammates. They know if you're set to hold this angle, you're going to hold this angle until you tell me that you're not doing it anymore. It's not just one of those, oops, I kind of forgot about this, sorry. They're just playing it well every single time. When they do the rotations, where they go, how they play it, it's just really, really good to see. But Ultra, for sure, the win. They split out as well, took the control. They knew where to micromanage their troops, like knew where the pressure was coming from. Again, really, really good to see.
They had a good zone. They had the circle. And there's not too much you can do against that, certainly in those final finishes where there's so much cover for them to just be hiding behind to rotate around. It's really difficult to assault in a position like that.
Yes, especially in third person when they have the benefit of having the cover. And that's where it doesn't become unfair, because that's why we play more than just one game to determine a champion. That's why we play so many. And you will, I think every team at some point will get into a situation where they have the benefit of the position in a fight. It's just a matter. I mean, even though you have the benefit of the position, we even saw where the repeaker would be the one to get the knockdown, right? I mean, we are up against guys that are so talented. We see it in other games like Counter-Strike and whatnot on PC. If you have the first shot on the guy and you miss, believe me, that guy will turn around and take you out before you get the second shot fired. So you really got to make the most of it, even especially with an advantage.
It's those fine little details that really start to matter when we get to the late stages of a tournament like this, because it's where people will be able to punish you for making those mistakes very, very easily. But something that we have seen is a very passive style of play coming out from Europe so far. They haven't been willing to, put it all on the line. I mean, Unique, they were probably the only team pretty uniquely, ironically, to come through and be able to put up a performance like that, to be dynamic, to be aggressive. And the rest of them, they're all just very, very chilled out. They don't want to fight. There's very few engages beyond when you absolutely have to. You look at other regions, people are scouting compounds. They're aggressing onto compounds. They know they can take the fight. They're able to get out. It feels like Europe at the moment, they're just a little bit sleepy.
And we talk about Unique as being aggressive, but it's not like they go blindfolded into a compound and just start shooting at everything. The thing they're doing is, as we talked about before, For example, here, they were already on the western side. The new teams were going to come towards them. They position themselves for kills where they always have the advantage. Shoot at people that are in vehicles. And even when they push down towards DM, we're like, oh my god, that's one of the good teams. What are you going to do here? They did not move towards that compound before they had the first knock. Once they got the knock, they knew, doesn't matter if they lost the guy earlier or not, we will be in a 4v3. If you play this one smart, if we move together, we can get the job done. And they did.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was just the poor shifts for them, the hard shifts.
Yeah, that last one there was really tough.
Them, which is unfortunate. But let's take a look at the total points. This is the standings. This isn't just from this last game. So you can see Team Unique, they are going to be still topping it out with 63 points. A really, really strong average coming out.
ASE, though, no wins so far, still sitting in second. I know it's only 2 games in, so of course there's still a lot to discuss. But some of the interesting ones here, Erangel, they were in second in the semis. They're currently at 7 points for 2 games.
Sure.
They have used their they have used their spare games. They do not have any room left, in my opinion at least, where things can go crazy, and we can see Unique and ASE and all these teams on the top do completely flukes tomorrow.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I would say Erangel, Besiktas, these guys that are currently sitting in the bottom, if you have 9 points over 2 games, those are the 2 games you could afford to kind of throw away. Now you have to just not step it up, but really, really step it up.
Yeah, you need to be hitting those top 5 consistently, pretty much the rest of this final stage. RosQ, another team that was pretty strong out of the semi-finals.
They got 20 points this
24 points overall between these 2 games. Not necessarily. It's okay. It's
and one was a 4-point game, right? So
it's redeemable. They've used one of their lifeline cards, should we say?
Exactly.
In that respect, but as you're saying, really the story here: Ultra Team, ASE, Team Unique. Those are the 3 teams on everyone's lips, particularly Team Unique. 63 points. Yeah. A really, really strong start.
Really, really good start. But now they got to keep it going. That's the tricky part, because other teams, as we say, over the span of qualifications to go here, everyone was looking towards DM and saying, what are they doing? And can we do anything similar like that? But now it's all about what are the guys currently in the top, because those are the ones to beat.
Yeah, and if they're going to be at the top at the end, they're going to be going over onto the global finals. And if you want to know about the rest of the regions, who they'll be facing, you can head over to the website, clubopen.pubgmobile.com, and you can check out the stats, the standings for everything going on in all of the different regions. And if you want to check out the replays, everything going on there, of course, head over to the YouTube channel, PUBG Mobile Esports, and hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. It's very easy. 2 buttons, you're done. If you're already, you might already even be on the YouTube stream, and if you are, fantastic. Scroll down, hit the button. Boink. Boink.
I don't think it actually makes that sound, but it could be pretty cool if it did.
Could do. Maybe you made that
trademark,
sound.
Trademark,
maybe
by
someone
the way.
clicked it and you made that sound exactly the same time.
I will be like a follower sound on someone's Twitch stream now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that is going to be for Vikendi. A really good start for Team Unique. As we were saying, they are able to roll it on through, staying in that top spot. But when we come back, we're going to be going back to where it all starts. Of course, it is Erangel, and we'll see who's going to come out on top over there. Don't go anywhere.
Play PUBG Mobile for free.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Here we are at game number 3 of the PMCO EU Regional Finals. We're heading over onto Erangel. My name is John. With me, it's Toby. Yet again, we are going to be here for the rest of the day, for tomorrow as well. And we're going to be taking you through all of the finals action.
It's going to be amazing. It has been amazing so far. What I'd like to see is the teams that we're expecting to do good step up in game 2, with some exceptions. Now, we just talked about before the break how we want to see Erangel, some of these guys that haven't really delivered so far, really get showings in their way. But then again, I mean, it's not random at all, but the fact that we had Erangel sit on Sanhok with the other team, Queso, just on the other side for the longest of time. Erangel decided to go one way, they get killed because of it. Queso go the other way, they get second place without seeing anyone, right? It's one of those kind of...
It's a roll of the dice, yeah. It's a roll of the dice kind of thing. But we saw Ultra there finishing it out in the past map. That was Vikendi going in with, I think it was 9 kills coming through at the end there with a top of the hill finish. But Unique, they're still topping out the tables. They've got 63 points. That's a really good start to the day. Hopefully a good start to the weekend for them as well.
They made a good efforts all the way through, but you gotta give kudos to Ultra. The way they played it there in the end, it's always tricky, especially in endgame when you have a hilltop position, because you have to kind of hold the angle on multiple sides there, and they made it work really well. Let's just take a quick look at the points. We've got Unique and Ultra, the 2 winners so far.
I am looking down at number 8. Who do we see? But Deformia Meritari, the top performing team by a huge margin in the semi-finals. They're down on 26 points over 2 games. That's not a good start. Certainly not from a team as strong as they were purported to be.
The thing is, for a team like Deformia, they've showed us that they can play really well across all maps. And now I'm not saying that either Unique or Ultra or any of the other guys can't. But the fact that they know that means that, oh no, we didn't just play our Sanhok game, our Vikendi game that we threw away, and now we have to just step up on the other ones. They know 2 out of 8. It doesn't matter what map we're on. We can show on all of them what caliber we are, and I believe that they still have easily a good chance to do so.
Yeah, so over onto Erangel next. But if you want to check out all the stats from the previous games, from the previous weeks, all the other regions as well, head over to the website. It's clubopen.pubgmobile.com, and you can check it all out there. And if you want to watch the replays, you know, get some research done, get a little bit of insight on board, you can head over to the YouTube channel. If you're there already, just scroll down, hit that subscribe button. That's PUBG Mobile Esports, and you can check it out there. Hit that bell and be part of the notification squad.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. I think that's what
cool.
the YouTubers call it nowadays, the notification squad. Yeah. It sounds cool. I don't know how good it is.
It has a good ring to it.
Yeah. Just like the bell. Oh, very good.
Yeah, wait, that's stuff. I like doing those jokes when I'm not on camera, because my facial reactions are normally even worse than my jokes, and that says a lot, so yeah. In any case, with game 3 coming in, I mean, Erangel being the next one at stake, I both love and hate, for the sake of the players. The viewers is good with all the continuous variation, but that you don't get to play the same map twice. We did have that through the qualifiers, where we get to finish off the day with 2 Erangel games. Now we are going back, as you can see here, with the first game of the old traditional map, and it's interesting to me.
That's quite a plane.
For the teams that, like, when you come back and play the same map again, we will see 2 Erangels today, if I don't remember wrong. And for the teams to get to play the same map twice, that's really, really important in how, like, info that you could have taken from that previous match. But this one, horrible plane, to be quite honest. There's a lot of areas they can't really parachute to. We're talking George Pole, huge area. Gatke can go up there as well. Rosok too. I mean, for the teams that want to go even further north, you could go Sargi. But then again, who goes Sargi?
But this is the thing as well. I mean, normally, you know, if it's not a great plane, you can drop over to those roads around Gatke on that west coast as well, drive up to Georgia Pole. You can make those rotations, but with the slant of that plane, it's just so difficult. Erangel, though, they have got Milta under control. You can see the Gold Esports boys as well. And Ultra, previous game's winners, they are over on Sosnovka military base.
I like to see Erangel looting Milta Power, just because that's where their PC squad from PUBG loots as well.
Having a little bit of a communicado.
One thing that's interesting to me here is we saw in the semis and whatnot how teams were kind of just sending it Pachinki and fighting for that. And I saw a lot of teams flying in the direction of Pachinki. We can't see yet how many actually landed there. But it seems to me that more than one team has indeed gone there, and they have both Hell and M19. They're trying to claim what's theirs, and there are other teams in this one as well. 4 teams landing in the vicinity.
That's not the best start. Why is everyone fighting for Pachinki? That's the question. Why are you fighting for control? Why are you trying to figure out if it's your spot now? Now, to be fair, the plane did isolate a lot of opportunities. So
Yeah.
maybe everyone had to fall back onto those backstop, those backup drops, and Pachinki was just a lot of them for a lot of people.
With so many people going here, I highly think that no matter where the plane had gone, we would have had these 3 teams inside of Pachinki anyway. And to me, in a tournament with so few games to play, we're talking 10 matches here,
Yeah.
the reward you're getting as opposed to the risk you're putting yourself at is just, I'm just not seeing it being worth it. I mean, honestly, sure you can get a kill early, sure you can get this and that, but you constantly be under the threat of, oh my god, is there one more player around the corner? You can never just run around and loot, you can never rotate early. It's the risk reward here is just completely in the direction of risk, and I just don't think it's going to be worth it. Especially, I mean, that's only because of so few games. If you have like a 30-game series or something like that, sure, claim what's yours, take control. It's a good center position to be in. But with it being Erangel, with there only being 16 teams, plenty of room for everyone to loot, go somewhere else.
But then we see that on the flip side, you've got Ultra over on Military Island with completely free loot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Be My Loot taking a knock as well from Old Boy. Looks like he's just playing up on the hills around prison. Has spotted out another player as well. That's Billy just showing an ankle, showing a bit of ankle through that window.
I love how his name is Old Boy. It's one of the very first YouTube tutorials I ever saw on PUBG ever.
Yeah.
Speaking of Old Boy, like Old Boy in PUBG at least, a game
Yeah.
that's only 2 years old, was one where it said, land in that compound northeast of prison, and then go up to the hills around prison and shoot people inside prison. That's exactly what he just did. It's
There
kind
you
of
go.
a little expression saying he must have seen that video too, way back when.
Has to have done. I mean, that's the only explanation for what
him
he's
to
doing.
be Old Boy, right? I mean, that's, yeah,
Absolutely.
makes sense, makes sense.
But we are going to go a little bit rogue, or
Rocky.
Roggy.
I was
Now
reading
spraying
Rogue
down.
as well.
This is a nice use of terrain there. And he is going to be able to get away for now, but there's not really anywhere to run from. But if you give up
Yeah.
your high ground like that, maybe a little bit more. Unique, though, they are engaged still with Be My Loot. The rest of the team coming up to back up Old Boy as they do take a little bit more control of prison. But Billy has a little bit of control. He has that third-person peak advantage, but they seem to have pinned him down now.
We're talking about dangerous pushes now. This one did come to work out there. Very fortunate. Now another push coming in. They're doing it 2-on-1. It makes sense. And look at how well they're playing it here. Love to see it. The other one, as soon as you involve stairs in an engagement, for me, it's automatically a no-go. Oh, that's a shotgun.
I love that. That sound is so visceral. It's just like, it's so final.
No, but as soon as you involve stairs in an engagement, whether it's pushing up or down the stairs, for me, it's always one of those, is it really worth it? Because if the first guy gets knocked on the stairs, he blocks your entire path up the stairs, stops the momentum if you're multiple players too. And if that guy, I mean, on the other side of things is sitting there spraying already, he's just going to hold that finger on the on their phone and say, I'm just going to keep shooting until I'm out of bullets, and odds are I'll get down the second player too. So dangerous push. Fortunately, they did make it work, but that's a really, really, really tricky situation to be in there.
Be My Loot not quite able to connect any shots onto the rotation from Besiktas.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway. There is another vehicle just moving on through. You can see Leron just trying to get through there. Will be able to do so pretty much unscathed, and the rotation goes unmolested.
Info came across that there were indeed people in that compound, so he took the big swing around and drove safely on over to the other side. Smart rotations coming in there, and it is, of course, to be expected from teams currently sitting in the semifinals. But we are already at match 3. That's the thing, yeah. I mean, normally it's just, oh, it's day 1, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks and for multiple games.
Yeah.
There's just 2 days of games.
Exactly. And it can
It's
be so much
crazy.
more snowbally as well, because normally you
Exactly.
have a week in between some of your games. You know, you can reset, you can get on board for that
Get
next
info
section.
on the teams.
Get info, get revision. The thing is, these teams are going to be finishing quite late. They're going to have to get up, they're going to have to practice, and they're going to spend all day tomorrow figuring out what they need to do, what they need to change, what they need to do better. But it's just so close. They don't have that same time frame.
And for the teams that are making it to the late game, I mean, sure, you're surviving and you're winning and whatnot, but you will have approximately the time that you win the game, take one sip of something, then you have to be in the next lobby, and boom, then you're playing again. You don't have a whole lot of time to sit and watch the thing. Sure, it's never better to die early because, well, obviously that means you get less points. But you just, I mean, nobody really has the amount of time that you really want to read through things. Even more so with us swapping maps all the time.
Here comes the crash, though. It is the Golden Esports Boys. The Golden Boys Esports, sorry. Crashing over onto the Epic Gang. As they are in just a little bit north of Pachinki at this stage. Looks like Tron is close, looking to go for a spray, trying to figure out which gun he wants. Lobs the Molotov. That will be spotted out pretty soon, but he is going to send them away. A nade in is going to force them back. He'll give his spot away, though. They're looking to try and peek it on the sidelines. Fish scale, he's under pressure. Into the window it goes. Some nice nade work coming out from Trong, and actually Kingsman capitalizing on a bit of rotation there coming out, but they do trade it back.
Yeah, VSS damage coming in. Leader does go down. He was in a separate building, so no rest is coming in just yet. Now the thing is for Tron and for his teammates, do they want to really contest this one, or should they try and maybe back off? They can always jump out on the backside. Oh, this nade, if you're timing it right, Graham, that could be extremely deadly. You can see he's holding it. He's just waiting for the throw over.
He's got to time it right. Just throws it over.
Boom,
That's
perfect.
Huge, huge plays coming out from Graham, and that's going to give the Gold Esports lot a little bit more room to work with. You can see the Epic gang, they have to make those rotations. They have to try and get Leader up, which they do. They get the res through, but Tron, there's no way he's going to be able to get out now. They do lob the smoke over. There's
no better way to do it. You always have to minimize your risk when it comes to these sort of plays, and he just did it perfectly there. Oh my lord, look at the Kingsman and his VSS being in use right there. Got himself one more knock, and I think these guys, they're smelling the blood there. They want to go for the kills.
There's blood in the water, and they are swimming strong right now. They want to push over, but they might have just stopped just a little bit further. As the Epic gang have figured out what's going on. They're leaving Tron, I imagine. Not too much
there's
more
no way
they
they
can
can
do
do. Yeah, there's nothing they
There's
can do.
no way they can get that.
New circle's going to pop momentarily as well. It's going to be interesting to see where we are headed. But for Epic, I think they have to call this one a defeat and then hope that they will win the whole war instead of not just that battle. Now Circle does go down south once more, at least somewhat south. So Potato Hill is going to be the center point. For those of you not knowing what I'm talking about, what the hell is Potato Hill? Just on the eastern side of Pachinki, there's a bit of a mountain ridge, and it looks like a potato. So we call it Potato Hill.
That's as good a reason as any, to be honest. ASC, though, they actually went all the way up to Stalba over that. I mean, sure, why not? You know, get that one done. But they are going to get some loot, head down south from that northern side. Over on that west, that's where Team Queso and Obstruction are fighting it out at the moment. Tarek gets confirmed.
Down he goes. Hospital. Not a whole lot more you could do there. OBS, Obstruction, they'll get their rotation game going from Hospital. They have to go a little further south and a little further east. And I mean, there are plenty of places they can play from, but they do have to make that cross on over at some point. Through Gatka, around Gatka, do we go all the way south? Do we try and push in from the northern side through Ruins? What do we do here? There's a lot of different options, and of course, it's all about you. I mean, knowing what you can know from the teams you've played against in the previous games, and say, because it's not that they only have these games in the finals to play through. They also, of course, have played the entire qualifiers to get here. So they know some of these teams, where they like to loot, how they like to rotate. And in all honesty, if you're a smart team here, even though you want to get those kills, if you know there's one place that is going to be less contested, you might just be better off going for that one.
But here's the thing. Every group of 16 teams has a different meta.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's so interesting about PUBG. And whilst they may have played against these teams before, maybe they've not played against them in this configuration.
Nope.
It is a new ground to be fighting in. So
there's no way they've played against them, because there's a multiple of 4 groups, right, from the semis, and they've never played all 4 groups together at one game. So
there's there's
no way
4 groups in the groups, 3 groups in the semis. So it will have chopped and changed. And
exactly.
I'm certain that there's no way that this exact combination will have been played before, barring some very, very slim chances. But so it is going to be a very new game for a lot of these teams, which is maybe why we're seeing a lot of teams dropping Pachinki, maybe why we're seeing a little bit of kerfuffle around that area. But for now, seems like we're down to 2 over in Pachinki.
Yeah, we saw DM just make their rotation down towards the south and like northeastern side of Pachinki just before as well. They're a team. I mean, there's a reason they were sitting so far up on top. Now they're sitting in 8th right now, but that's just off of 2 games. There is a reason that they were as far up by over 100 points as they were before. Look at the way they're splitting right now. Taking a center position, they committed to it, and they get themselves into a spot, like just like Unique last game, where they know rotations will come through, they can get kills off of it.
Deformia, they have a position. This is a team as well we need to see more from. They didn't have the greatest of the first 2 games. They did okay, but really nothing special. Certainly not what we were expecting from them. So hopefully they'll be able to step up here on Erangel. M19, they seem to have control of the bulk of Pachinki for now, and they are still in the circle.
I'm
they are
curious.
a little bit to the north of it, though.
Curious to see how much loot Hell has at this point, because I don't think they've left their side of the road at any point in the game so far. I mean, they have looted maybe 2 or 3 buildings each, so some of them might not even have, the essentials. We're talking vest, helmets, and enough ammo to take on a fight here.
That's not what you want to see.
That's a bait crate. Don't go for it. It's miles out in the open.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. It's so, as you say, it's so open. Nowhere that anyone really wants to go for that one. Kuma did take a lot of flack from Ultra on that rotation, and actually I think they suffered a knock for it. They might have actually taken one down already, but you can see Stark moving in for the flush out onto Larchie.
Ultra likes these high ground positions, and holy wow.
That's a holy wow indeed.
That is a southeastern shift if I've seen one. There's plenty of water in it, and the thing is, with all these compounds available, well, I mean, if you're Edge team, you got to just go full speed forward because you ain't getting down there.
Guess who's in the circle? It's unique.
Yep.
That's a really good start up for them. Of course, the next cycle will be moving their way as well, away from that water. So a really nice spot. They are over on Potato Hill, which is the hill you were describing earlier, Toby. Hopefully, they'll be able to have a similar performance, because right now, they're sitting pretty. They're doing very, very well in these games.
The thing right now with this circle is that if your team currently sitting fouled on the edge of the previous circle, then you cannot just go center here. You have to wait for the other teams to go before you, and if they say, I'll just stick around here and take edge fights, this is what you're going to be going through. You're going to be running through so many ambushes, and odds are you won't make it through all of them. You might get to see through the first one, second one, but then you hit the point at which your vehicle has so low into ability that it just to blow up, and you have to just kind of call it quits halfway through.
Yeah, you lose a couple tires, and you have to just peg it from there, or just die trying.
Exactly.
Unfortunate. But the rotations are starting to come through pretty thick and fast, actually, and we're still seeing 16 teams alive. Minimal kills expected here on Erangel, because, of course, everybody a lot more familiar with this map. 50% of the games up until now have been played on it, so everybody's super keen on it. Oh, look at this rotation, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The Golden Boys are either side of Deformia Meditari.
Golden Boys are sending it all the way through, and DM, they're going all the way south, down towards the hills. And well, seemingly wanted to go in from the south side instead, knowing how much pressure there was up north. And that's, again, a thing you need to know. Where, like, what's the common spot here? Where do we have those melting pots of multiple teams just clustered together? If you can rotate around those and then sit on the inside and let those fight off and only get to fight what's left of them afterwards, that's going to put you in such a good spot. Seems like Gold have committed to the compound on the south side of the road. Scary spot to sit, because sure, it's good if you get the circles, but should it go away from there? There are not a lot of exit routes.
But the rotations, they're pretty clean. They had Graham send in on a scout.
For sure.
They sent the core with them afterwards and a final follow-up. Very, very strong. That's exactly what you want to be doing.
Great rotation coming in. Got all the info they needed, and they did it without taking any casualties. Now, hell, though, they're going to be under fire as soon as they get into that vehicle. They got 3 guys in it, and oh, my lord, they're still all alive. But for how much longer?
How on earth did they all get away with that? They're not out of the woods just yet, though, but they made their way to those buildings, and they have some cover. That's really all that matters there, because they will be able to get those reses off. Yeah,
we saw Foxy just go down, but as you said, they might just be in a position where they can get those reses back on up. Ross now taking on a fight with the remaining Kuma players. Yeah, it's been waiting to happen for a while since Ross, they decided to push around to that side. Foxy is by himself in the smoke. I do not think he can crawl in, but now fire is being applied from the side here. That's DM having pushed underneath, decided to take the high ground position in the hills, and they got all the vision in the world from there. And M19, to be honest, that's what we were talking about before. They were the Pachinki droppers. They can't get out of there. Now look at the position there in top northwestern side of things. And this circle centering up somewhat, at least, is only going to force them more out in the open.
Look at that southern side. That's really where this focus is. You've got that peninsula there. You've got obstruction. You've got Kuma. Only a single player for Kuma there, to be fair. Ultra as well sat there, as well as, I can't remember which team it was. They were just sat a little bit further north. That peninsula is going to funnel everybody through that same area.
It's a pancake, too. It's a big old pancake. Look at this. I mean, you have this side up in the fields, up in the double bonds, and then you have equal double bonds on the southern side down by the peninsula down there, and it's just a big old flat open field, and there's not there's not an inch of cover whatsoever. Look at this. This is where we are. Just a big pancake with 3 teams down there, and Erangel are going to do what they can, try and hold them off.
Look at Ultra though. They've actually gone around the skirt of the mountain there.
I think they fell in the water.
Oh,
and now they're trying to swim all the way back, because there's only 2 places you can get up from there.
They may just have done so. 2 crates dropping right next to each other, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's in the other one, but here's the MK14 as well. Yeah, look at that Ultra. They are just rotating around.
They're trying to get up.
Yeah, that's not going to go well. I think there is an area where you can just scale the cliff.
Yeah, you can do it where Stark and Nikita are sitting.
They will be able to get there, but this is good terrain play coming out from Deformia. They have a good little divot. They're on the edge of the circle. They know exactly how they're meant to be holding, and you can see why they are so strong. Even though they haven't had the best performances, they know what's up.
And they have parked their vehicles so that they have good escape opportunities, and also grant them cover for anyone trying to peek towards them from the south. So they know exactly what to anticipate, and they're preparing themselves accordingly. Now Rescue, they are under a lot of fire. Harp getting exploded as we see him go down in flames right there. His teammates do manage to make it on through, but they're driving into multiple other teams.
They're just not letting up at all. This volley of fire pinning so much damage into Rosq.
These
And there
are
we go. Actually, there's a lot more getting done as well by From Hell.
all the damage done by...
Look at those nades. Oh, not quite good there, but there's a nade. Oh, huge! Oh, my goodness me! From down at the bottom of the cliff, it's Ultra to rise on up, and they take down Kuma. What a nade!
That was absolutely insane. Not only did he throw it perfect, he also exploded right on the money, so there's no counterplay to it whatsoever. DM now up and against the M19, guys. One player remaining on the opposing side. There's Rag over there by himself, trying to hold off this entirety of a force of a team that just did everything they had to throughout the qualifiers.
Smoke's starting to come on out. The reses are going to go through. Again, we see Old Boy popping up with a kill streak. That's 3 for him.
Every
on
game.
Team Unique.
Every game so far, he's had a kill streak. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Goes to show the consistency.
Consistently aggressive. That's what that tells me. We highlighted
And
it in the first
effectively
game.
aggressive.
And effective, exactly. M19, though, they're still struggling. 2 players downed, and they haven't managed to get through. Of course, only 3 players there for their team, and DM have managed to get everyone up. And I think that was another team eliminated. Yet From Hell, they're going to go out.
Hell, they had some rough rotations trying to leave Pachinki, and it did not work their way. Hopefully, for the next Erangel game, they'll opt to go elsewhere. At least I'd hope they will.
I tell you what, I'm still reeling from that nade from Ultra.
That was insane.
That was...
That's a Toby, you know?
Was it?
It was a Toby.
Oh, that was a Toby. Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah. Toby nade.
Yeah.
That was,
I only take credit for the really, really good ones or the really, really bad ones.
But that was just perfect, right? Like,
oh, yeah, exactly.
That was...
That's why.
Amazing.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I cannot get over how good that was. Look at that shift. Such huge shifts coming in time and time again. Unique. They get the favor once again. Team Queso and Epic Gang right in the center. They have control of those buildings, but those hills to the left, they're really strong as well to hold.
Yeah, thing being, they just got all the cover within this circle. Everything south of the road is miles out in the open. You can see it as well before. At least we're going to be fighting in the cover positions now, but where these guys in the open are going to be running through, that's what's going to be tricky. They have to make those escapes now from that southern side up towards the other side of the road, and I'm not seeing half these players even make it that far. We got 42 alive now. Let's take a look once that next circle is connected and see. I'm sitting at somewhere in between 15 and 22 players.
Unfortunately for Unique, they do take a little bit of damage over on that south side of the circle. Still trying to get up those cliffs potentially. Got spotted out, but
yeah.
Unique, they don't want to go for these peaks, funnily enough. Rosq, oh, look at how slow he was.
1 tick left.
1 tick on that res, and they were able to get it done. But they're up nonetheless, and with 2 players.
Rosq has had their 4-point game so far. They cannot risk going out early. There's still 13 teams remaining. If they can live through just this phase, that could be them potentially, honestly, getting a top 6, top 7 placement. Because you can see right now, all these people are trying to just crash in and take some sort of space where there is none. It's going to be real hard, and we still have multiple teams yet to make their journey.
And Unique just sat on the northern side. They are getting rotated on by several teams, but they're all going to be fighting each other. They're going to be weak as soon as they push onto Unique. So who's going to come out on top? Is Ultra actually going down in 13th off the back of a win? That's not really what you want to see. Poor showing coming out from them, but there's still plenty more fighters in the ring. And left to go, live and kicking. Ultra are out of it. Unique over on the north side. Probably one of the main teams to look out for. You can see this insurgency coming through from DM as well on that western flank.
You can see Gold trying to hold off all the people in front of him, but it's just not going to be easy. Besiktas again. You're talking about a team that I believe made it in 7th place overall in the semis. They have yet to find anything going their way throughout the first 3 games here.
Did spot out a player from Erangel there. It's Dark Angel, but he's last left standing for the Golden Boys.
Yeah, do you want to take a shot? Or do you just want to kind of try and let them focus on other things and then make that run on in once you have the chance? You do not want to attract too much attention to yourself here.
Speaking of not trying to attract attention, you can see M19, their last representative, just a little bit further outside of the circle. That is Golden Boys going down in 11th. Now the rest of the team's fighting out for the southeast.
It's so hard to make the run in here, especially once all these other players made it to the other side of the road. All they have to do, because you see none of them are targeting each other. They're all just saying, we will focus on each other once we make sure there's no one pushing us from behind. And I'm not seeing M19 getting inside this circle either. Once it connects, it's going to start doing so much more damage, and he will have to get up on his feet and start running.
He needs to push in past Avantgarde, though. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Zones into Team Queso's position, though. I think he does actually have the stims up. No, he's not. He goes out to the play zone in 10th. It's M19.
Ooh, look at the nades coming down from Gunso here. They already have 3 kills in the team. They have a team pinned in the bottom of your circle. They know they're down their magic. They saw them on the screen before. They saw them down with the vehicles and all the smokes. And if you have a few more nades to toss down that direction, that might just be you getting yourself 3 easy kills.
Everyone just putting out their feelers, figuring out where they can go. These circles starting to close pretty rapidly. Look at this from ASE. They're dropping the smokes, moving forwards. They want to go towards Obstruction. 2 knocks already. A nice pickup, and actually Obstruction taking a lot of punishment from all angles. Look at the flanks coming out, the smokes, the distraction play. ASE, you can see why they're sat in that top 3.
They're doing everything they can to make their way inside the
nade?
circle, using the utility to their advantage. Nate coming in, and that's almost going to get that one. I believe Jay did manage to get knocked from it. Also, with the shots coming in from the side there, but OBS, they're under so much pressure. But then again, I mean, they are in a better spot than ASE, at least circle-wise. OBS off of that, though, do get... No, that's a kill streak. I thought they were eliminated.
Yeah, they're taken down. Intense position. Hang on a minute.
No, they're not. It was a kill streak. It was a kill streak.
Oh,
we got debated by the screen.
I got really debated.
Yeah.
I really did. But they're still live and kicking, as we say. One of the ASE players did get eliminated during that fight, and actually it's the Epic gang to take fights as well. Everybody condensing. This 6th zone looking pretty deadly right now, but Team Queso, they're looking pretty, sitting just inside the Mini 14, able to finish off another kill. As they just rain on out, but in come the troops. They're looking to push this compound now.
Yeah, and they have to. I mean, the thing is, everyone that's not in compounds right now has been spending the majority of the last 10 minutes fighting, smoking, burning through their utility, and all their all their vests and helmets as well. And for these guys that have just been waiting in compounds, they have everything in their advantage. Now they do need to, of course, land the shots needed.
Yeah, that's something you do need to be hitting. Lunatic not quite able to hit it, but apparently the Epic gang just had no idea where those shots came from.
They're like, where the hell did he shoot from? The thing is, he does have 3 other teams behind him, so might wanna worry a bit more about what's next to you rather than what's at the distance. Bandit get himself 3 kills here. He's always up there too, sitting tied in 3rd in the overalls and the semis with 33 kills total. Only makes sense that he's up there. Roscu, though, they had a 4-kill game to start things off with, and now they go out in 8th.
Lunatic still not quite able to capitalize and finish off on those shots. Unique over on that northern side. They are pretty good at the moment in terms of that terrain cover. They have DM to their south, but they have a nice easterly flank to operate around. No one really going to want to go for this. This is such a dangerous crate to go for, even if it is an M249, but they don't know that. They don't know what's up. Team Queso, though, they still have players posted up in both these buildings.
I believe Erangel is reaching the 10-kill mark in this game already, and they still have 4 players up to go with. I mean, we're talking about them. They were sitting in 7th place in the last round there. I mean, they really needed points, and right now, fortunately, they're getting them.
Spear does get knocked by the nade. No one there to finish it off just yet, so they will be able to get the res off. A very fast tick down. I wouldn't be too surprised if they get a little bit more, but look at Unique. Look at this rotation. You can see they're leaving Old Boy in the position they had before, but the push is definitely over onto these buildings. You can see the next circle, a hard shift over to the east, and again, Team Queso, they're looking strong here.
I love the way that Unique is playing this one, too. They're by far, to me, one of the best rotating teams. We saw them in the circle, too, hard shift to the south. They were the ones with all the chances in the world to take a center position, but they knew, as you can see here, those center spots will be fought for. And they say, you know what, we'll just stay on the northern side. We'll let everyone crash underneath us, and then we'll make the push on down in the forest later on, because there's so much more room to maneuver around when you're out there in the open. If you have the skill set to fight from the open, do it, because you do not need to sit inside these compounds necessarily.
DM, they need to make their way in as well. There's a lot of pressure coming on in, but this southern side, pretty much the most important at this stage. ASE actually still just sneaking around. Kotoyo, the last remaining member, will get shut on down. That's Team Queso picking up another squad. ASE go down in 7th, and again, Unique, they're looking to push. Epic, they're right in their way, but how many people are grouped up? Avangard actually made that way all the way in.
Yeah.
And Obstruction over on the right.
Crashed the compound, the circle went down there too, so it made sense. You had to go there eventually. Don't want to get caught off in the open, and they haven't got 4 guys up. They know for a fact that they will have the upper hand pretty much no matter what fight they take, and I like it. You see, they don't go over aggressive. They will share this compound for a while being. Of course, in the end, they will have to take the fight. But right now, no reason to start getting players, knocking the loose players, and potentially getting third party from elsewhere.
Old Boy makes the push. He's able to get it done as well. Able to confirm onto Spear. Team Queso not able to shut him down before he gets there. Nagy at the back.
5 kills for Old Boy once again.
Able to do so much work for his team, but this is the Unique squad going for their break on in. You can see you've got Deformia, Meditari the final representative up over into the north, and I think that was the last one to
Nukes
go
went down
down. They
there,
go down in 6th, so not the end of the world, but still not the best performance. Unique still in it. Avangard still in it. Team Koso, they're isolated to the top floor of this building into Phase 8.
4 alive in Unique and 4 alive in Erangel. We talked about big CIS represented orcs right here. Those are 2 of the biggest. Really, really, really impressive plays coming up from them in this game. So far, they've played this one very differently too. Erangel has been fighting all the way through on the southern side. And Unique, well, I mean, they've been fighting on the north. So it's just the beasts from CIS have been clawing on through. And they're now sitting in a 4-4. Good split here, but with, of course, multiple other players still alive, there's no guarantee that either of these 2 teams will win the game.
It's a very thorny engagement here. Plenty of things you can trip yourself up on. Plenty of terrain, plenty of walls. The shots start to come through. That's Unique just dueling out with Avangard. A little bit of a poke. Nagy taking a lot of damage from that nade.
Yeah.
That's a player going down. That's obstruction. He did get spotted out in the end. Rank 5, though, that's not bad.
Not at all. Trying to hit out in the blue wasn't a whole lot more you could do there. Maybe should have counted up a little better. Ooh, you see, there's Gunso. He want to get in. He want to make his way in towards Mag and get the rest on up. But right now, I think Unique is going to try and push on this one. I would assume for them to do so. But do they know that they have an Epic player sitting right on the other side? That's the big question.
He's just sat inside that shack, just biding his time. Team Koso, though, they're going to pop up. Nagy could be caught unawares, able to find some cover. They trade it back, but he's out into the blue. This is disastrous for him. Will go down. Lunatic. That was too bold, my friend. You're not going to be able to get it done, but in comes Epic. Is old boy going to check the corner? Is he going to know there's someone there? Goes for the spray, goes for the challenge, but no, he goes down. Looking for the confirm. It's Wenzi trying to get it done, but he's not going to be able to have it just yet. And Unique, they hold on for now.
Circle is only going to push in further and further and further in 7 seconds time.
Avangard went out.
Get it all in. Avangard got eliminated off of that push, and Wensi is all that's left now. 2 teams remaining. Somehow he stood strong inside the shack, but he's alone against 2. Can he do it? No, he cannot. Unique get themselves a win off of a good game on Vikendi previously, and now a solid victory with 16 kills right here.
That's absolutely huge for them. A first win of the day with 14. And again, they're able to post the numbers here on Erangel. 16 kills. This is huge for them. This is a really good start. If they can roll this momentum, if they can keep it for the rest of the day, they are looking set to be one of those top 3, if not the top, because right now they are outperforming everyone.
They came through the qualifiers in 5th, I believe, overall. Yep, sitting at 308. I mean, so it's not like they weren't doing good. Everything. I mean, that's a good performance off of the amount of games they played. Everyone did good. When we look through the list, Avangard, Rascue, Ultra Team, and Unique and M19, they all did really well. The only thing is that because DM were doing so much better, it gets completely outshined. So everyone's saying, oh, DM has to do the best of the best of the best here. Not quite the case. These guys are equally good, and that's the thing. When you only have 10 games to play, you need to be able to step up right here, right now, and do it right now. Honestly, to me,
look at this nade.
Unique is one of the only teams doing it. Yeah, that was
from Moloko.
And it bounces into their faces, too.
It's... You cannot get better than that, right?
Not at all.
That is probably my favorite frag of the entire tournament.
Yeah, that was holding one if I've seen one.
That's I mean, you have to put respect where respect's due.
Look at this, old boy as well, even pre-firing behind it all, saying that's where I would sit if I was in there, but got debated in the end. Would win the game anyway, though. Crazy games coming up from Unique so far.
Absolutely. Not too sure on the decision to check behind the door, though. Because, of course, Team Koso had... but Team Koso have Overwatch on that position, right? So it would be a lot more likely that he'd get spotted out, perhaps.
If he's behind the door?
If he's behind the door.
How can they see him?
Because he'd be on the balcony. He would have been able to see the door from the balcony. Whereas if he sat in that... I don't know. It's a technicality. But let's take a look at the points. You can see Team Unique, they've already breached 100 points in 3 maps.
Gotta give it to ASC, though.
ASC, though...
Yet to win.
Doing very well, but they're just placing. They're placing and placing and placing.
Yep, that's all you gotta do. Kills are good, but you need to get those placement points up in there too. Deformia, of course, making their way further up the ranks. 5th place for them right now. Avangard as well, good 3rd place game for them. They bounced them up, and it doesn't look good overall for them over the 2 first games, but that was very, very well needed points coming in from them in that match right there.
Yeah, unfortunately though, Be My Loot. Really not their day. 11 points so far. Yeah. Not looking good for them to be moving on up.
And the thing with there only being 10 games overall, I kind of want to say there are teams that we can already at this point start to exclude from that top 3 spot right there.
Unless if
teams like M19 and Besiktas, who are 2 great teams, unless if they really really start turning things around. We're talking double-digit kills multiple times over and over again, and good placements with it too. They just can't catch up at this point.
Yeah, it's the curse
We're
of
only
having
3 games in.
It's the curse of having a B at the start of your name. That's got to be it, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're not able to break 20 in 3 games, but they still have some games left. They still have 7, so the majority of the games are still to come this weekend.
Plenty.
There is time to come back into it, but I think the story on everyone's minds right now is unique. They look unstoppable. The rotations we've been talking about this.
Yes.
They are so strong. They are rotating probably better than everyone else at this stage. From what we've seen, what more do you want from a team, right?
Nothing.
They've already won twice.
yeah.
They came 7th off a really hard shift previously. So even then, they were able to do pretty well into the points.
Yeah.
But if you want to check out the rest of the points, the rest of the stats and standings from across all the regions, then you can head over to the website. That's clubopen.pubgmobile.com, and you can check it all out there. And if you want to watch the replays, check out that sweet nade from Moloko yet again, because I definitely will be. I will be looking at that. I will be watching that on repeat for weeks.
That was pretty insane.
You can head over to the YouTube channel, which of course is PUBG Mobile Esports, and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and make sure you stay up to date with all of
Jade.
Up to Jade.
Yeah.
No, that's not quite where he'd put a is it? I don't know. But you can hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything that's happening in the PMCO.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, just to kind of close off on the whole unique thing there, the fact that they, even in games where they don't seem to get the circles, because they haven't been, sure they got the circle here, but they allowed themselves to not go center, stayed on the northern side, up by what I like to call Potato Hill, and said, we will fight our way down. We don't want to sit in those compounds because we know how isolated they are. And if we commit to it now, sure, we're in the center in circle 2, but who cares if the next circle hard shifts to the west? We're going to have to find our way out in the open. They said, we're not going to do that. We have this entire forest line running down from the mountain. We can play from this. They stayed. They did it, and they won the game. Kudos. Good job, guys.
Fantastic from Unique. The rest of them as well doing very well. ASE yet to place first, but they are in 2nd spot on the leaderboard. Will they be able to get their first chicken dinner on the board? Will Unique be able to reign strong, reign that terror through? We'll find out after the break when we head over to Miramar. Hello and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open. This is the European Regional Finals. My name is John Allen. With me is Toby. We've had a couple of great games and Unique. They are the front runners at the moment. But Deformia Meditari, they're a team that we haven't seen too much from so far.
They're a team that is currently holding on. They're in there still, and they haven't really had a really bad game yet at all. They've just been in that situation where they've been shifted away from, well, too many times, I guess you can say. But again, for Unique, I keep saying this, but not only play impressively, but to do so over 3 different maps, that to me is absolutely insane. I want to see them as well do those same, not the same kind of rotations, but do same wise rotations, because rotations depend on, of course, the circle, but also what map you're on. But do similar knowledge rotations on Miramar now, because it's very different, well, in all aspects, pretty much. And if they have the knowledge equal to all the other maps, because as far as I know, Miramar was the lastly added on the mobile. Yeah. If they can show me that they have as much map knowledge on Miramar that they do on all the other maps, that they showed with their rotations and how they approached fights, I'm just saying, you know what? I mean, give them a top 3 spot already. Yes, that would be insane. Yeah,
why not? I mean, you pretty much have got that if you have all the knowledge. But taking a look at the points, you can see why they are clearly 46 points in the lead already over 3 maps.
That is impressive.
That's insane. That's more points than most of the other teams in the tournament have at this stage. Yes. They have over the second place team. Only, Team Case and upwards have more points than that, and that's absolutely nutty.
Gotta say though, there are a lot of the teams in this group. Like, I'm not thinking any of these teams can get a win. That's how good these guys are, right? But I'm saying there are a lot of these teams that are equivalent to Unique in many ways that could get those 3 games back to back, boom, boom, boom. Maybe not 3 wins, but 3 really good placements right after one another, and then shoot right up there too. So Unique, they cannot just rest on their kind of rest on anything right now. They have to keep going. They have to make that buffer even bigger. So with a few really good games, they can maybe get 2 or 3 bad games in the end of things, because you never know what happens when you come down to that day tomorrow. 2 games left. Some teams might not even be able to qualify, and they just go, well, if we can't qualify, at least we can wreck Unique. You gotta be ready to have crazy things coming your way tomorrow.
That's true. Yeah, you want it because the top spot is so important. Because it's just a clear qualifier.
Exactly.
But if you want to check out who's going to be in the top spot in this region for this weekend and for all the other regions in the other weekends to come, you can head over to the website. That's clubopen.pubgmobile.com. And you can check it all out there. Of course, if you want to check all the replays, I was just still going on about the nade from that previous game from Monaco. Huge nade, double kill, beautifully placed.
It was pretty well.
A little bit luck, but mostly skill. Mostly skill. You can head over to the YouTube channel and check that one out. That is, of course, PUBG Mobile Esports. Check out the replay there. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, and have a good time.
Yeah, because it will be. I assume that for you guys watching out there, probably have some sort of relation to PUBG, whether it's on PC, whether it's on the console, whether it's on mobile, whether you're a competitive player or not. Even if you're not, there's so much you can take and adapt from these games to put into your games when you're playing on your mobile phone, on your PC, on your console, whatever. As far as play style, as far as how they go about fights. Now we do get into the next game. Fair play, like to see it. But just to finish off on that one right there, there's so much you can sit and watch from these guys and how they approach fights, and you can bring it into your own gameplay, whether you're a competitive player or one that just plays to have fun. How they rotate, where they're positioning themselves in circles, how they look around to try and get info. Watch for it. You will learn a lot from looking at these top players, because they are, well, technically, the 16 best teams in all of Europe, at least right now.
Certainly. Well, they've come this far. They better be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're pretty damn good.
Absolutely. But they have only got 7 more games to play to decide who is going to be in that top spot for now. At the moment, it's Unique, clear and simple, but there's still quite a lot to go, as we were saying.
Yeah.
Nice dispersion there. Actually, less people in Picardo than I would have imagined. It's only Ultra going to be dropping there. Los Leones maybe a little bit hotter of a drop for a lot of these squads.
That's a huge first circle, too. Like half the map.
Yeah, that's very, very kind. And everyone who is dropping a little bit further east than they were, they're going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You've got Kuma, you can see they're heading actually down south towards Los Higos.
We do see teams landing once again with one another. And of course, that's what you get when you have so few games and so many, new teams joining up with one another. And also the fact that you don't see this map more than twice throughout the entire tournament. I'm personally a big fan of Miramar. QQ, that it's not being played more. F's to pay respect for Miramar. And it just brings a lot of different it forces you to think out of the box in a lot of situations. Because I've always said, I'm for those of you guys who don't know who I am, I'm a guy who has commentated a lot of PUBG on PC. Their competitive scene there, and I still do. And for me, Erangel and Miramar, doesn't matter if you're on console, PC, or phone. The difference is for the most of the situation is that if you get hard shifted away from an Erangel, it's like it's horrible.
Yeah.
But you can make a play. Like there's always that golden 1% thing that you can do, and it's going to work out for you, right? On Miramar, even in Circle 2 or Circle 3, sometimes if you get hard shifted hard enough away from, you're like, I might as well just suicide because this one is tough. But there are always players that come out and do these crazy things where I'm like, this would never work.
Yeah.
And then they do it and they're like, oh, is that even a thing? And I just it gives players to think outside, like a chance to think outside of the box so much when you're playing on Miramar. I love to see it, and I love to see how they always come up with crazy new things, especially with the molding of metas. And I don't feel like there's like a certain meta on this map, especially on mobile yet, because it is such a new map added on here. I just love to see players like get a playing ground in making crazy things happen.
A lot of damage being thrown down early on. I mean, it's before the 4-minute mark, and already we've seen knocks starting to come through.
Yeah.
Not the start that you'd imagine to come through. Graham actually nearly able to win out the fight, but
where's the help? Where's the help?
Not quite powerful enough to get it done. The heal will come through. Actually, Erangel as well, taking damage. Everybody's fighting early.
Sharing those cities. Miramar is the biggest of big cities. They had the perfect plane to go through as well, but still, they decided to say, can we be neighbors? And of course, all of them saying, no way in hell we're going to share this town with you. What's the cowboy saying? This town is not big enough for both of us.
This town is big enough for the both of us. Howdly doodly, neighborino.
I don't think that's what he said afterwards.
No, that was a different neighbor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the Simpsons one, right? Yeah. Flanders. That's true. Fear.
He is ripped, by the way.
Oh yeah. I've seen those things. Yeah, interesting. The power of Jesus flows through his veins.
It compels him. But Be My Loot, they're going to be just staking their claim pretty easy. No one really contesting them for this spot at the moment.
They have had a rough time, though, so far. And we talked about how teams have X amount of games they can kind of not throw away, but games where things might not go the way. Because I mean, after all, we got to come down to the fact that this PUBG. You will not win every game. That's just how it is. Now, Erangel, a team that had 2 rough games to start things off, got back into it in the last one there. They scare off Thanos. That's not something you do too often. Have Thanos run away? Huh. Yeah. No spoilers, but that's impressive. I didn't think Thanos was one you're scared of that easily.
Well, yeah, he's a big softie, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
When you think about it.
What did he really get in the end?
Exactly.
Yeah. Too many memes being thrown at this one at the same time. Kuma as well means bear in Japanese. Gotta love him from him. Why do you think the bear in Tekken is called Kuma? Or is it Korean? I don't remember now. But it's an Asian language.
I'm not sure.
Kuma. It means bear. I know for a fact. Because we had a guy in my class in Denmark called Bjørn, which means bear in Danish. Right. And we always called him Kuma because that was like the cool name for bear. So
in Japanese?
Well, I mean, we just called him Kuma because Asian people are cool, you know. So
okay, fair enough.
What's the Japanese?
If you're watching, and you know what Kuma means,
it is. I mean, I know it means bear. I just don't remember if it's
if you know
Japanese
which
or Korean.
It's from, then at us on Twitter at John Allen Casts. Right?
Oh yeah.
The name is Toby.
What's the cool Asian version of saying John?
I don't know. John.
Yeah, so cool.
I mean, that's not really John is cool in every language, and I'm talking about me, not my name. So,
John.
You know. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
There's a new John Wick movie out. That should be pretty good. Haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen that either, actually.
Speaking of things that are related to PUBG, of course, he can hit headshots, Mr. John Wick himself, and also can these players. We've seen it time and time again.
Game.
What a transition.
It's the wrong game, my friend.
Yeah.
Coming in with John Wick into PUBG. Let's go. But, yeah, again, very little engages as we were seeing before. Erangel taking a little bit of punishment. It was Magic as well.
Yeah.
Taking a knock.
I mean, it is Miramar. Huge map, and even with teams landing on top of each other, more often than not, they can still get out of the cities in each their different direction and be well off. And for the most part, they will here, especially because they can. I mean, sometimes on Erangel, if you land 2 teams in Gatka, it's like, we want to just go each our separate ways, but we kind of can't. And then you have to take the fight, whereas here you have a little more room to maneuver around, and should be possible for teams to do just that. What I want to see here, though, is what we've seen from Unique. I want to see other teams do similarly. Anticipate rotations. Not saying that you have to sit on the edge and take fights, but anticipate rotations, play wisely on the edges, and then if you want to go for center position, maybe not jump straight into that one compound you know is the best, because odds are there's going to be other teams there. Settle for something, scout forward from there. Just play it wise, because I feel like we've seen some teams take unnecessary fights in this one. And sure, you can get those kill points, but 30 points for a win. You want to get those placement points instead of all the silly kills.
And that's really where Unique have got the bulk of their points at the moment, with 14, and they've got 30 points off kills between their 2 wins. And
what do you think ASA has gotten their points from here? I mean, they're sitting right now on the top. They have yet to get a win. It's not because they've been killing everyone. It's because they've been in the top 5 in pretty much every single game.
Yeah, they're second. They're placing second. They were on 63 points, I believe, overall.
It's insane.
It is insane, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. If you can secure a spot into those prelims, all of a sudden, you have a chance to be moving so much further forwards into the global stages, because there's more qualifying spots in the prelims than there are here. So, even getting over there, you have more of a chance.
Some might argue that I mean, it's not going to be better. Obviously, you want to go straight to the finals. But if you play through the prelims, you'll be playing with some of the other teams that will be qualifying to the finals as well. You'll know half the finals, having played against them before. And it's going to be from other regions as well, right? So you're going to have more of a taste in what's to come, whereas the guys that are going straight to the finals, they're going to go in kind of blind and everything. But sure, they'll have watched the games, watched the other regions play, but
it's different.
Yeah, it really is. You're going to come in hot if you're coming through the qualifiers and you make it through there. I mean, yeah. So don't get first, just get second.
Because you're playing it. I mean, I have 13,000 reasons to disagree with you on that. That's $13,000.
Oh, okay, those kind of reasons. Yep, I accept those.
Absolutely, because, I mean, like, you may get the advantage, but is it $13,000? I know there's a huge prize pool for the finals. That the layout hasn't quite been announced yet.
It's absurd, though. It's the biggest PUBG Mobile tournament to date.
I mean,
I think it's actually the biggest PUBG tournament to date.
Absolutely. There's huge numbers on the line.
Yeah,
I think, certainly in the millions in terms of the prize pool.
Yeah, let's just put it this way: whoever wins this tournament, they'll be happy.
They'll be pretty chuffed with themselves.
They'll be pretty damn satisfied.
But the European teams, they're going to come up against a lot of stiff competition here, because you've got teams like from regions like Southeast Asia, really strong. China, again, super strong playing this game. India, really renowned for their skills, and everybody's going to be gunning for that top spot. And with the amount of money on the line, you can start to dedicate your time, dedicate your resources towards getting incredibly good at this video game.
Honestly, and I want to say this because now I've had the pleasure of casting both the Indian region, I've watched a lot of the other regions play too, and the European region has honestly been getting a little bit of slack for a little bit of, not hate, but just people saying, they're good on PC, they don't know how to play on mobile. Right. That's kind of the thing that some people are saying. But I gotta say, off of having watched this, and I know you can't really, because we haven't seen the top of all regions play against each other, but what we see from the top teams here, and we're talking our... there's not gonna happen. Don't shoot.
It's kind of, yeah.
I mean, shoot, but it's going to be from quite a distance. But what we have seen for teams like Unique and whatnot, they are up there by easily up there with some of the best in the other regions.
I think particularly Unique are, because of the fact that they...
I love how he sees them run around for the longest of time.
And then just shoots.
And then when he shoots, he doesn't shoot at anybody.
He's spotted one. Okay, fine. Carrick's going to be able to get to cover. But that's the thing. I think Unique are one of the only teams demonstrating both restraint and aggression in the right ways. Whereas you look at regions like India, like Southeast Asia, they are getting more aggression on the board, and they are going for these plays because they know they'll work, they know what to do. The obstruction clashing with Besiktas.
Yeah, the thing to me with the way Unique is playing right now is that their playstyle is very adaptable to any region. Because they play so proactive, and because they play so passive-aggressive in a way, it means they can always adapt to a team aggressing them, but they can also always be the ones to aggress themselves. They have kind of both those options, and they can switch in between what they prefer to do. So, and that's what you got to be afraid of. If you're up against a team that in one region is super aggressive and they get all the kills because of it, well, if you go up against a team that's doing the exact same or the opposite, that could be a counter. And, well, I mean, that's going to be a downfall.
And you were talking about, EU, they can only play on PC. Well, I tell you what, looking at how the PC players are playing at the moment, because the PC game has been out for a lot longer, the pro scene a little bit more established, the strategies there are much more refined. So you take lessons from them.
For sure.
All of a sudden, hang on a minute, you've got some great people to learn from.
Yeah, you wanna get the best of both worlds, and if you have it available, if you have it up for grabs, you do just go on to any of the PUBG sites. I think it's just PUBGesports.com. can get all the info in there. From the PC side of things, you can go in and find some console stuff as well. And why not sit and watch through some more, though, what some of these guys are doing? Because maybe your opponents aren't, and that's going to give you the upper hand.
Now I'm going to push through. I have got word, actually, that from my friend, my dear friend in the chat, that Kuma is bear in Japanese.
I told you. That was
Well
my first
done.
one. I kind of shaded over towards Korea, but then I jumped back to Japan. Because I forgot where Tekken was from. I didn't remember if Tekken was a Korean or Japanese game. And I was like, wait, would it make sense for a Korean company to have a Chinese or Japanese name in it?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, but it was Japanese. I had it right.
Oh, well, speaking of Kuma, oh dear.
Oh, sorry, jinxed.
Oh dear, though. To be fair, they did come up against Deformia, one of the stronger teams. We haven't seen too good of a performance, and we're going to keep talking about this until they post pretty much probably until they post a chicken dinner, or certainly a top 3, top 4 finish. Because for now they've been outside of those zones.
Yeah, they have been in the top 8 repeatedly, but they have not gotten the kills to really throw them anywhere higher from there. They had a pretty good Sanhok game to start things off, but now let's see what they can bring up here as we take our turn over towards Miramar.
M19, they have a little bit of a compound being overlooked though by Team Queso. And in fact, Magic as well. They've got the bead on. There's rotations. They do have a little bit of terrain cover though. How far out away from the road do they push? This is the question. Magic not quite going to be able to get the spray on until Thanos just pokes over the top, goes for that road cross. They have split up. There's 2 players going ahead as the vanguard. They are leaving some players behind.
We see Epic. They're sitting inside of Picado. It is on the northeastern side of the circle. Ultra is all guys inside of the 5-story building there as well with the open roof. Accessibility. You can jump on up there, get yourself some vision, and potentially also a bullet to your face. So always got to be smart about how you position yourself. And that's one of the other things that we haven't really talked about so far today. Even though you try to line yourself up to get those rotation kills, especially on Miramar with so much open ground, you can never just say, oh, there's a guy over there, I'm going to shoot him. You always have to keep in mind what happens after I start shooting. What if I don't get the knock immediately? Am I in position to take cover? Because that's what's been killing a lot of people. The fact that you see right here, Master, for example, he's on the roof, sure, he gets a knock, but there could be 10 barrels looking his way, and that's going to be him knocked on that roof. How can your teammate rest you if you're crawling around up there in the open, right? I mean, it's just one of those things where you always have to be smart about what you do before you start shooting.
When you said 10 barrels looking his way, I thought you meant like explosive red barrels, and I was like,
that could also be a thing.
How does that? What? Or like people sat in barrels, like with eye holes cut in the side?
That is also a thing.
That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Oh man,
New skin idea.
They should add.
Then you can roll down hills.
And they should add cardboard boxes.
Then you can roll down hills, but then you get nauseous, so your scope goes all over the place.
Oh man, we're coming up with these mechanics, and quite frankly,
PUBG
I don't know
development
why
team,
they aren't in the game already.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that isn't in the game anymore, that's one of the Golden Boys players, with Fish Scale, or Fish Cake, I think.
ASE. Live and kicking, getting those few kills they want, and then trying to see if they can make their way into the placement.
No, it was Fish Scale. I got it right the first time. I got confused. But Dark Angel getting knocked as well. ASE, they might not have been fragging before, but they're certainly fragging now. Team Queso, though, they have something to say about it. They are third-partying into this fight. Right on the edge of the zone. They still have 2 more Golden Boys to push through.
Just on the edge of the circle, you see the M24 putting in, but you also see the amount of damage that the circle is doing already. We are in circle 4 pushing in. Not that far to go to make their way inside the circle. Tommy is making the run on around the side. They're once again trying to maneuver around these opponents. And this is what we keep talking about. Don't just take those fights head on. Be wise about your rotations. And if you have a chance to disengage, well, I mean, we have a team right here showing us why that might be the smarter thing to do. This circle, though, miles out in the open. We have make that 2 compounds in a circle with 56 people alive. Guys, I repeat, we have 2 compounds in a circle with 56 players alive. Good luck, boys.
And there's a lot of terrain that's inaccessible as well in the mountains. It's very difficult. You can't get on top of a lot of them. So we'll see how these teams are going to funnel around. And a lot of damage should be starting to come through anytime soon. Ultra actually taking a beating here, coming in from Avangard, but they are given as good as they get, able to get a knock. And I don't think there's too many Avangard players left.
Yeah, this is where you want to go center early, but you really can't play from the center. If you go center here, if you somehow manage to stay alive, all you can do is prone down and hope not to get your head popped off, because there's going to be so much fire coming your way. Now, the good thing is that all the teams on the edge, they have to find each other. Like, kind of go elbow to elbow, trying to bump the other guys out of the way as they make the run on in there, but it's going to be really, really hard for anyone to do anything here. Everything is just going to be third parties. Ripperoni, they had themselves a good third game, but once a game, that's 3 games now, where they go out early this time around in the last place. And I believe that's actually going to be 2 0-point games for them so far.
That's really unfortunate for them coming through, but they have to put their best foot forwards. There's still 6 more games for them to play. M19, they have one of these compounds in the circle that you're talking about.
Yeah, they need to really hold it. That's another thing, right? If you get yourself a center compound, you got to know it's a priority spot for teams to potentially push to. So you cannot focus too much on what's happening too far away from you. You got to do that puffer fish thing where you say, "Oh, we're big and we're scary. You don't want to come over here," when in fact you're just a little vulnerable guy sitting in a building with a gun in your hand.
Isn't everybody just a little vulnerable guy?
Don't say that, man.
With a gun in their hand.
I don't know. Some of them might be too scary. We haven't met all these guys in real life. That's another thing that we have to keep in mind for whatever these teams make their way to the grand finals or the spring championship. The fact that they'll be playing on land. That's most likely. I'm going to throw it out there. A solid 90% of these teams have never played PUBG Mobile in front of an audience.
Yeah, that's going to be really,
that's going to be a factor.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big factor, actually. You know, you need to be coming in through. A kill streak actually coming in from Besiktas.
They need that. Good.
That's a team wipe. That's Ultra going out.
Wow. Ultra. Bada bing, bada boom. Blown to smithereens. And Rescue, again, one of the more, I guess you could say, inconsistent teams that have had good showings. They got themselves a good 3rd place. Then they've had rough games, and now they have a chance here to do something yet again as they're really close to the circle. But as we know, for a fact, that we know the terrain of the map here, as we can see as well, that's a lot of open terrain. And it's not easy to maneuver around Kuma, the Bears of Japan. Down they go.
They are bust. Unfortunately, out of the running for now in 14th. Not doing particularly well. This terrain, though, very, very hilly, very bumpy. A lot of nooks, a lot of crannies, positions. You can just hide out and see what you can find. But Magic taking a lot of damage. They have a rotation that's very difficult here.
Caught on the wrong side of the road to an M19. Know exactly where they are. I'm not seeing Fear getting out of this one live. Now it will see the next circle pop. And what was once 2 compounds is now a half. I mean, this is only getting harder and harder by the circle. This terrain is so damn impossible to play around. You have half of the teams are miles up in the hills. You can see in the distance there. The other half are miles down in the open. And
he's so low.
To be fair, this is not going to be easy. Fear,
no.
I respect the idea, I respect the rotation, but also there's nowhere for you to go, buddy.
You can respect the cherries on that one.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you've got to throw out those crazy things where I'm saying it never works. Sometimes it does this time around. Not quite the case.
Yeah, and he's going to not get away with it this time around, but Be My Loot is again taking more damage. Everybody starting to fight for this terrain. This rotation from the south needs to start to come in. This is phase 5. This is where we see a lot of teams drop. A lot of that terrain controlled at the moment by Unique in the top in the northeast. So those hills are going to be very, very difficult for people to push on. You've got teams like Deformia as well in the center of it, all going strong as everybody starts to clash now.
Got to throw it in there. Unique there once again active in the killing streaks. I mean, it's absolutely insane how they back can get themselves so many kills thrown across the board. DM now up there as well. They needed kills. They needed things going their way early, and they're starting to rack up points. Rescue talked about inconsistency. They go out in 11th place. Not what they would want to have happen here. They came into this tournament in 3rd through the semis, and now they're getting eliminated once more in double-digit finishes.
ASE, they have suffered a knock. They lose their team, and now they're down to 2. They need to try and keep that placement record going. Soon, looking for the Overwatch. They've already got a knockdown, 3 kills on the board. One nade would do them pretty safe right now, but Besiktas, they're looking to capitalize. The spray is pretty decent coming on out at the moment, and Unique still have control of this hillside.
They're taking fire from multiple angles, and the thing right now is they have to commit to this one and have to get it over with quickly. There's only one player left, I believe, on his feet right now for Besiktas, and they need to get this one over because, as you can see, Unique right now, they're starting to take fire from other teams as well. They cannot let this one take much longer.
But look at how grouped up the team just down the hill from them are. It's going to be so difficult for Besiktas to get out of this valley, but Kitsune's getting challenged over on that left-hand flank.
I respect them for starting to shoot at everything going on, but they really should just full-on commit to the guys below them. They are 4 alive. They can go around. They can get the kills. Like, they know they had 2 knocks down there. Just commit to it, push on through, get the kills, and go back to what you were doing before. Because having a team right on your feet like that is going to be extremely hard once they do have to rotate out.
Besiktas getting knocked down again. That's Team Queso. They are going down as well. M19, I think, are going to get taken out as well. A lot of teams just get... Oh, dear, Tommy. He's going to suffer a lot of damage, but he gets himself into the zone just for now. Needs to creep a little bit further forwards. There you go. A little divot, and ASE, they still have a horse in the race.
Maybe that's what they do in order to get to the late game. Just get all the guys killed except one, because it takes up less space, you know, right?
That's true.
So just sneak
Look at the
make your
circle.
way on forward. Holy cow. I don't know what Unique does to get these late game shifts that way. Now, in all fairness, when they were playing on Vikendi, it shifted away from them and they lost because of it. But these two last games, those late game shifts have gone in their direction.
And look at Old Boy moving around the side. Beautifully executed flank. They lose one, but
Look at
they
the
get the pick up.
positioning. One guy below, two guys above. Perfect push on a player they weren't 100% sure as to where we're.
There's the Golden Boys going down as well. Besiktas.
Never overcommitting. Get that res up first and then wait and then push it together. Smart play.
Be My Loot very close to ASE, but look at this. From Hell actually with 4 players alive. They're pincering Matic at the moment between them and Unique.
They got kills under 2. I believe both Foxy and White has 3 kills at least to their name. They've been playing that western side for the longest of time. And now they can make that rotation on in. They'll have to at least, because the circle, as you can see here, started closing on. And Be My Loot will go out in 7th. ASE go out as well. But then again, 6th place. They're getting up there.
That's decent. That's really quite strong. And moving forwards, we'll see what else they can do. Unique still have control of a huge part of the zone. A spray coming down. We'll be able to get the knock. Looks for the transfer as well. Rodby not quite able to get more done.
Ooh, that's
almost
a
gets
headshot.
taken down himself.
Yep, got to get back down behind the hills there. White goes down. It's going to be once again Unique securing themselves. Kills 6 already, and they have a whole side to fight for. But you can see this. They can never overcommit on any one thing because their team's shooting at them from multiple different angles.
From Hell. Bearing down at the moment. Old Boy, hugely dynamic. This is what we're talking about. This is his storyline right now. He's roaming the hillside.
Playing it smart, using the terrain to his advantage, but right now he might be a bit too far forward. Nate's only getting closer.
Heals up, goes into the smoke.
It's a smoke.
Oh, they're getting fired on for the rest of his team as well. And Old Boy pushes forwards, will get taken down. The confirm, not quite there, but Unique, they're going to have to let him lie. They're spraying down. They get the trade on to JC as well. And the rest of the team is pressured back. Obstruction, not putting up much of one in the face of those bullets flying in from Unique.
Yeah, it's going to be real hard. Matic is up there as well. He was the absolute kill master from his team. Out he goes to the circle, of course. Obstruction, unfortunately, gone down. A little replay coming in on your screens there.
Over into Unique.
That was a nice replay. I'll love to see it. Great camera work, flying around there, and we get back on screen.
I thought it was great. But Matic, he's behind a tree. He's been spotted out. Besiktas, though, they're still behind. They need to be careful, but he's just going to be able to snake away. 7 kills. Yeah, he's going to go out to the blue there.
4th place, though.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Deformia able to get that one done. Remember, Besiktas on the back. I don't know if they've just not figured out that they're still there, but Besiktas, this is one of the teams. They were down right at the bottom. They've already managed to get themselves 3rd.
Eastern hard shift yet again. What does Unique do to get these circles? I'm not quite sure. Replay coming in once more. Boom, there we go. That's the finish up on towards Tummy. Not a whole lot more he could do there. Got caught up from the side, and that's just what it is with these situations, or these areas. I mean, when you have all these boulders, these rolls everywhere, you just cannot look at everything at the same time. And if you're 1 or 2 players alive, you do not have enough eyes in the sky to get the vision you need.
They got Old Boy up as well, which means they're still force strong. They're able to make that push. This is really good. I mean,
we talked about wanting to see Unique do good on Miramar as well, because that would really solidify them as, at least for today, the top of the group. And the fact that they have 2 wins, like 7th place, that could have been anything else as well, just off of 1 bad rotation, and now potentially a win again. Look at this. I mean, they're just not giving these guys a chance to even breathe. 8 kills already, and with a win potentially here, could be a double-digit once more. There would be another 40 points added to the lead they already have. That is insane. And for any region sitting out here watching, maybe doing some analysis and scouting on forward, Unique, if they're making their way to the finals, which right now seems like they will, they are going to be a team to be afraid of.
Absolutely. Oh, they spotted them out. In come the footsteps, in come the shots. Nagi goes down early. Kitsune looking for the trade. Will get it done. Jumps in, the flying shots will land, and it's going to be Unique finding another win today. That is 3 out of 4 with 10 kills on the board.
Absolutely insane. Besiktas, though, 3rd place, or 2nd place with 3 kills. Very needed performance from them. And once again, DM as well, despite not getting the wins, they got themselves 12 kills and a 4th place in this match. So really, really good results coming in from them too.
That is very, very strong. But, I mean, you cannot put Unique down at the moment. They are
It's insane.
absolutely running riot here.
Yeah.
So far. I want to see more of them. I want to see what else they're going to be able to put up. We've got one more game today on Erangel again, where, of course, they won with 16 kills. Their highest kill win today, which is a weird that there is actually things to compare that to, right? There's a top 3 of kills.
I mean, we have 3 teams that has won games so far.
Yeah. No, 2 teams. We had Ultra win.
Oh yeah,
in
we
game
have.
2,
Sorry. So
and
we have
Unique won the
2
rest.
teams that has won games so far, and we have 4
But
games.
I think this would be the first back-to-back-to-back win if Unique are able to get this next chicken dinner.
Yeah, that would be absolutely insane, and they can. I mean, showing the way that they've been playing so far, the way they've rotated. I mean, as we said before, get those magnesium pills in your breakfast, and the circles will go in your direction. That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Just got to make it happen. See what they can get done more though, because right now it seems like it's like their performance that Deformia were putting up before, Unique are doing right now.
The thing is, the way that they're splitting out, the way they're taking control, they're not only putting themselves up in positions to get the circles. Sure, they got some hard shift in their direction, but even when they don't get the shifts, they still make those rotations into the circle. And even more so, once they do get the circle, they make damn sure that, first of all, no one's on their heels. Even when they knew that they had Besiktas down there, you could see as soon as the other guys were dead, oh, well, the last guy's down here.
Yeah.
They had constantly one guy kind of looking behind him saying, let's see if they're doing anything. And they knew they weren't going to because they just wanted the placements, right? Where everyone else, they just split out and take control. And we talked about it before. Look at this. They're double-digiting second place pretty much right now. That's absolutely insane.
So to compare, 150 points over 4 games is pretty much one of the highest scoring days we would have seen in the other stages of this tournament so far. 149, huge,
Unique almost have the same amount of points as second and third combined.
Yeah.
That's how far ahead they are right now.
That's incredible. I mean, the differences between them, what is that? Or that's over 70. I think that's, what is it, 79?
They're like 3 or 4 points off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a few. I think they're
Insane.
75 points ahead, which is almost the same as, they're almost double ASE.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. They're doubling the second place pretty much. That's absolutely insane. Erangel, though, looking at you guys, M19 as well. We're looking at the list and we're looking, I mean, just looking at the results from the semis and looking at what we have right here. I talked about it before. It's tricky. It's difficult. And one team I want to give kudos to staying up there, Deformia. They had that rough game one time, but now they're getting those placements in and they're adding kills to it as well. They seem like they're getting back in shape. Sure, Unique is ahead right now, but as I like to say in all the other sports, what one team can do in one half, you can do in the next. It's just a matter of getting up there, delivering, and I'm sure that a lot of these teams, even the ones that are seemingly out of it right now, coming into tomorrow, they will watch through the VODs, they will watch through everything. Because as we said, there's not a lot of time right now to do this between the games. What can you do? And also you're bringing in info from maps that you aren't going to be playing against. So what can you really get out of it? Because Unique hasn't done the same thing on multiple maps. They're playing differently, but they're playing what they need to on the different maps, and that's why it's working for them.
They're playing adaptive. They are, as one of my favorite quotes from Bruce Lee is, be like water. Be as water. When water fills a glass, it becomes the glass. When it fills a cup, it becomes the cup. If it fills a teapot, it becomes the teapot. And that's exactly what Unique are doing right now. If it fills your shirt,
you become wet.
I don't think he said that one. But you can go ahead and say that one for sure.
That
one's a Toby Spectacular, a Toby Philosophy 101. But if you want to check out something a little bit more down to earth, some statistics, some standings, all of that, you can head over to the website, clubopen.pubgmobile.com, and you can check it there out for not just Europe, for the rest of the regions that are being broadcast as well. You can get all of that information there. And if you want to check out the replays, see just how Unique are so special today, what their performance is bringing to the table, you can head over to the YouTube channel. That's PUBG Mobile Esports. Hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and have a great time.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'll be watching back some for sure for tomorrow. Because the one thing is, we'll miss things, obviously. There's crazy chaos happening. It's always around that circle, between circle 4, circle 6, depending on how the games unfold and what map we're on. There's always chaos. And you have multiple teams fighting, you have crazy things happening. But going back and just like playing it in slow-mo for a second and saying, how exactly? Because it's chaos. It is chaos. And there are teams that go out and we say, how can you, I mean, if you can find the recipe to surpassing that chaos thing and still keeping 4 guys alive, it doesn't really matter how many kills you have coming into it, especially with this point system. If you can go through, if you can sit in circle 6 with 4 guys alive, you can have 0 kills. You have a potential of getting a 10-kill win still.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, and if you can get there, it's how the hell do they get there 4 games in a row? Make that 5 games in a row. Absolutely insane to me.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, what's insane to me is how Unique in the finals with 16 of the best teams in Europe have managed to put up such a performance. Will they be able to continue it? We'll be heading over to a break, and when we come back, we'll have Erangel for you on the cards. Unique. Are they going to get that 3 chicken dinner back to back? We'll have to wait and see. Don't go anywhere.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Welcome back to the PMCO European Finals. My name's John Allen. With me is Toby. Unique are on the run of a lifetime. We're going to be seeing if they continue here.
That is going to be interesting to watch. Also, how are they going to fare tomorrow? Now, everything is working their way, and I'd like to see it normally. Whenever people come to me for advice, I don't know why they do that, but sometimes people do, in PUBG at least, and they say, how do we come off to a good start? Yeah. And especially when you go up against the new set of teams. How do you, because there's no way you can plan for everything that's going to happen. Yeah. First of all, the circle's going to go wherever, and especially in this case, you have 4 different maps to play on. You can never prepare for everything that's going to happen. That's just impossible. But I always say, just play confident. Don't be like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen, so we'll just do a little more passive play. Or
no
because, we don't know what's going to happen, so now we feel like we have to engage in this. Just
for sure.
Whatever you've done to get to the point where you are now, there's a reason that you're here. I mean, there's a reason you qualified. And don't sway away or don't do anything away from what you've done so far. Play with the same confidence. Go into these matches the same way they do. And you can see in Unique, even though it's on different maps, they use the same play style. They have it very adaptive. Look at the leaderboard. I mean, there's a reason they're up there. Everyone else, I feel like, aren't really doing what they probably should be doing, which is playing their game.
Well, at the moment, this is Unique's game. Everybody is playing Unique's game. And they are dancing to the beat of their drum right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, there's no other way to really put it. But what we're looking at here, the leaderboard, obviously very, very important, is those top 3 spots. That's what's going to get you one step closer to those finals. And in the case of the first place team, it will get you straight there. Of course, Deformia, Meditari, really, really strong, huge clearances above at the top of the board coming out of the semi-finals. They're sat in third. They're doing pretty well. ASE as well. They're placing consistently, and they're just getting those points in, and that's all they need to keep going forwards towards that bigger prize pool.
And as we talked about before, I mean, of course, it's good money to even win this tournament and get second is better than third and all that, but it is pocket change compared to what will be at stakes when they do manage to make their way to the grand finals.
The 75,000 total prize pool for this.
That is a lot of money.
European
that is a lot of money.
Finals, a lot of money. But I think you're moving on for the global finals. I think it's up to 2.5 million.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check that, but dollars, that's huge, right? Well, if you want to check out who's likely to be going over there, you should check out the stats, the standings over at clubopen.pubgmobile.com, and you can see what's going on over there. And if you want to see the replays from all of the regions, not just from Europe, then you can head over to the YouTube channel, PUBG Mobile Esports, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, see what's going on. What bang? That's what you got to do.
Also, now that we got your attention, because I hope that we do, you guys out there, we're talking to you. If you have anything you want to share with us, maybe John and I have been saying a guy's name wrong. There's probably a chance that we have done that.
No, I never say anything wrong.
Oh, that is true. Maybe you feel like you got some input on things we might not have known. Maybe there are certain scenarios going on that we didn't mention that you feel like are mention worthy. Reach out to us on Twitter. You saw the handles before. The name is Toby. John, you could say your thing.
Oh no, it's on the screen.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There's me. There's you.
Yeah. Reach out to us.
Reach out to us because we do actually love to hear from you. And even when we were doing the Indian broadcast, a number of the players reached out. They gave us such valuable information. We're able to really highlight that and demonstrate what strength they have. So even if you're one of the players in the team, then reach out to us after these games. If you're watching these VODs back, absolutely.
If you have anything you want to say to us that we should prep for tomorrow, saying tomorrow we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then we'll talk about it on the stream, and then you're going to do something else, and we're like, they actually thought we were going to do that, idiots.
Well, fair enough. We'll have to wait and see. Pachinki, pretty hot drop last time around, but it's a Southern Circle. Could be military. Let's get it. Fingers crossed. Ultra, though, they have a really strong spot. If it is, because they are the only team that has gone military so far.
It's always interesting. I don't know why it is, but if you have a team that lands in Yasnaya and the game ends there's no one saying, they're the Yasnaya team, they should have won it. But there's always kind of a pressure thing.
Hello.
Hi, guys. There's always a sort of pressure when you're the team that lands on military to be like, you're the military team, now you have to win this game. I don't know why that is.
You sure, they don't. Them and be like, you should have won
this.
They
didn't have to cross the bridge.
What are you doing? You didn't win.
Inevitably.
You're an idiot. You didn't win.
I'm just going to stop talking now.
Absolutely. I feel like both of us
inevitably, I mean, other teams will make that crossover. You can't hold off every team to make it to the other side of the military island. And as we do talk about military island, let's talk about something completely different. Because M9 team and Epic are having a not-so-epic fight in a city that should not be contested. In my opinion, my personal opinion.
It's not necessary, really, early game. There's so much on the line. But a lot of these teams, they need all the points they can get.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing what they can get done.
M19, they're not doing the wellest, because that's a word now, right now.
Best.
And nope, it's a wellest, and it is clearly clearly showing in the sense that they're maybe, as we talked about earlier, picking fights early game that, first of all, you don't see any of the guys currently sitting in the top doing, but they're also picking fights early that they could pretty easily avoid.
Ooh, speaking of fights early on, Erangel firing off a couple of shots over towards the Golden Boys. You can see with that DP trying to land the shots. It's even taking off all the clothes. That makes you run faster.
Then and then a pizza gun. Yep. UFO gun. I don't know. LP gun. Yep. Erangel running around with their pistols and DPs, trying to see what they can get done. Epic, they have indeed managed to make their disengage, so why even bother landing inside of Pochinki if you're planning on running out anyway? Could be time you could have spent looting, could be time you could have spent rotating down towards the island, but now you have to go north, get loot, and then you have to run all the way back down again.
Erangel, who do like to normally drop over towards that melter area, just a little bit further
Plane
west
was
this
west.
time around.
Plane was west.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was western, so they are clustered in a little bit further towards the circle.
Also, in all honesty, I mean, for them not to go all the way out towards Milter Power makes perfect sense in this scenario.
Yes.
By the time they went to Milter, first of all, they knew they were the only ones there, but by the time they get out there, they see it's a military circle. What better than sticking around Milter? You might be able to hold off some bridge rotations and whatnot. So smart rotation. And once again, the guys are showing that they indeed are wise in their playstyles. So one team that I've seen great things from before, and then I've seen not great things from them, then I've seen great things again, and then not are the guys on your screens right now. Mello and company, they have had good showings, especially in the qualifiers and the group stages and semis as well. But today has just been a cluster of good things where you go, oh my god, they got what it takes, and then 15th place right after.
But they're in Severny. It's going to be pretty tricky
That's a long
to
rotation.
make that rotation. It's all the way down south. Although they can just start to play the edge, they can start to go on the back of those rotations.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's a military circle, all of those boats are going to be taken down. Those bridges
Yes.
are going to be devilish to
It
move
is
through.
going to be tricky, and now,
Oh,
oh
dear.
boy,
Oh, boy.
oh boy.
What? What? Why is he there?
He's
What could he
chilling.
possibly do? Okay, there we go. He's got some backup. Makes it to the rock. Fair enough. Nice run, but he's got a teammate as well coming up on the back.
But does he have a gun?
I think he's got something. Is that a crossbow?
No.
Okay, no.
That would
No, it's
be a
not.
very heavy-hitting crossbow. The thing right now, though, is Go Boy. Old Boy has got himself a helmet, no vest, and same thing happening for Dark Angel. So neither of these guys should really be prioritizing what's going on right now. As for the fighting aspect of things, just
This is smart from Old Boy, though. 'cause
run away.
He's moved all the way back. I think Dark Angel thinks he's still in the smoke. The rotation came
That's
through.
one thing. Also, if a nade comes in there, then it's not going to go down because of it.
He might be just watching for Dark Angel to poke his head out. You can see Graham moving out wide.
I like the idea. They need to get the info here, but is it really worth spending this much time on? You have to make your way down to the military base of all things anyway. So play it smart, get looted, get the hell out of there, make a move down south, because the circle's already pushing in. Again,
To see
we
what
talk
they
about
offer.
fights that you don't really need to take right now, right? Dark Angel,
Exactly.
they have scared him off. He's on the rock. There's no logical reason for whoever, because they don't know that it's Old Boy there. There's no reason for them, for any reason, to expect that player out there to run back inside the city knowing there's a full team there.
Yeah,
So just get back, get looted, get going.
There's not a moment to lose. Although the first circle relatively slow, it
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
close
it's not that they're
for
stressed or anything.
quite a long
it's just,
time.
It's just if they have a chance to make a play
Yeah.
now, might as well do it rather than sit around and do nothing. Because right now, effectively, they're not getting any info
Yeah.
or getting anything done while they're sitting there.
A lot of players just running around in the open. Old Boy just gets knocked there. I mean, it was only a matter of time. Graham actually managed to get the
Yeah.
angle. Interesting that he was running back for the rock. Oh, there's the rest of his team actually finally starting to come in. He might just go for the push here, and they might be able to get him back up. But Old
It
Boy,
is unique.
very aggressive traditionally.
It is unique after all. You never know what to expect from them other than crazy plays. So it could be one of those 3v4 scenarios where they do get things done. But a team that we have, not that we haven't talked about them today, we've actually given them quite a bit of our screen time, but we just haven't seen a whole lot from them, at least as far as what we wanted to see from them today. And that is the guys from DM over there on the screens just before. They are making their way down towards the military side of things, but they still, of course, have that bridge to cross over.
Sixtus getting shot on by the Golden Boys. Those rotations will start to come through. The Scar not quite able to land. There's a couple more targets, though, coming in, waiting in the wings. Will be through there. They get the res over onto Old Boy. Should be able to patch himself up, drop a bandage, and then get that first aid on board. Might just be able to go straight for the first aid. Of course, it is that first circle, so he's going to be able to heal up. And this is the thing. With the time that was spent fighting away at Old Boy, they haven't been able to get those vehicles on board. They haven't been able to get that loot. And in the meantime, the rest are unique. They're fully looted.
Old Boy is you say that. Old Boy is going to be running into this next circle without a vest on and no meds whatsoever. That is not completely looted, in
That's
my
true.
opinion.
Well, the rest of his team, though, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah, they've got things going for sure. But for Old Boy's sake, if they do have to take a bridge engagement, if they have to do anything as far as fighting, honestly, they might be better off. I mean, they are in the blue now anyway. Go to just one of the small houses. You know, the loot is a little upped from what you see public games to be. So there's a chance that you get some loot in there, right? Go to somewhere where you can get yourself a vest or helmet or anything, and see if you can find something to work out your favor. Ultra, they are taking shots. They're taking damage as well. You see them on the center of your map right there. Erangel, they've made their way on over. We talked about them sitting in middle, so they'll get a freebie as far as rotations on over goes. So of course, there's still a chance, John. There's still a chance. It could swing back north.
Kuma as well, they made that huge rotation all the way to the south side of the island, so they have got that in control.
Smart.
You've also got Team Queso who are bridging that gap on the western side of the river. So, and Erangel, as you're saying, going straight hell for leather down that bridge. Risky play, but it's going to pay off for them.
They scouted it beforehand, though, and they knew that there was no one shifting to that side early on because they saw how many teams jumped out towards the eastern side early, so they knew only one team's in the area. Smart place, smart place. Military side of things, though, it is being contested as we speak. And M19, they're finding themselves in shoreline, and holy guacamole, this one is by far the worst circle we could possibly get, because it still doesn't guarantee where we're headed, and now all the teams that were hard committing down south, well, they might be considering a second-guessing situation of themselves here. Thanos starts killing people. Not half the server, but at least people have gone down so far.
Cheeky little minor snap, you know, just like,
Just like
oh,
a little jazz snap.
oh, yeah, like a little, you know, got his brushes out and started doing a little.
We gotta love good old jazz snaps.
Well, this looks like RosQ, one of the teams that you were talking about earlier, not really putting in great performances sometimes. Back and forth they go, and this time it's against DM.
Wow.
Look at those downs. Nukes staying alive out of all of it. Andy, the last left standing. They might opt to go for the push. Is that a nade? Is that smoke? I think that's a nade around the side.
It's the thing that's thrown forward, and it does go kaboom, but it doesn't do any damage. Now on the backside of things, as RosQ, we talked about inconsistency, and once again, they go out in very, very rough placement. 16th place this time around for the guys that came into this finals sitting in third place. They were 1 point behind Erangel in second too.
So Team Queso, they made the rotation over towards Military Island, and then immediately they've now just rotated back.
Big question here though, do they just completely, oh my god, is this just a farm fest now?
They're stacked up. They're stacked up in a vehicle. Come on, you can't be doing that.
Even more so, how in the universe did 4 guys shooting at a vehicle not get a knock? Or a vehicle explosion?
They actually managed to, they turned it around actually. I think Magic were able to get a knock onto Warfarin.
Yeah, Magic just got one out of the vehicle, but they should be in a distance enough, like
They
far
did
enough
get,
out
they
to
took
get
one knock
vehicles
just
stuff.
now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it
There
does
we
get
go.
the finish. I
Okay.
was just going to say that it should be within enough distance to get a smoke off and then go for the rest, but that didn't come into play. Now I want to know, because the guys who saw rotate back right before, oh, that's a little sneaky peeky play coming in from the grass right there. Did they just beach their boat? I don't hope they did, because we got to keep in mind there's still a chance that it shifts back to military again. So
Might
don't
just
beach your
opt.
boat, just park it a little out in the water. Unless if you have a car. For those of you guys who don't know, if you beach your boats, you can indeed take your cars, slam them into the boats, and bump them out into the water again.
But they need a car to do that. And who has one? But Obstruction. They have got a buggy as well on their back foot, so we'll see what they're able to get done. The nade looking to go on towards. Everyone's just looking to lob those nades, and he did cook it. Nicely placed,
How
but
in the universe?
how did that? Oh dear!
Even more. What?
Is the nades damage reduced? Because that went straight in through the window, and it should have just completely.
That
fragged
went
him
through
out.
the window, and the other one blew his knees off.
Sure, why not? But they do lose a player in the meantime.
That's the new Hurt Locker, level 4 vest you can get. You know.
Sure, why not?
The nade literally blew next to him.
Yeah, that's crazy how he didn't go down. Because he was full in cover.
It was
so-
JC, you know. Maybe he's a little too ghetto for that.
Yeah, that's Jay-Z. It's not JC. It's different.
I know, but
Yeah, but...
hello, my name is John. I ruined Toby's jokes as of living.
Well, I would be able to if you had any, but it's going to be JC's day getting ruined.
And I thought we were friends. MG, they have made their half-committed return to the other side. Same thing going for Ultra. They're like, we want to go over to the other side, but then again, let's just sit and wait for that next circle. Because if the next one doesn't guarantee what side we're on, which it does,
There we go.
then they would have to pick and choose. And right now, the sad thing about this one is that, sure, there's a ton of room in the circle, but also a solid 60% of it is a huge open field. And there is not a whole lot to play from around there.
Yeah, just a load of wheat. Maybe you can make some bread.
I call it the
but
Forshack field. because there are 4 shacks on the line in there. So just 4 shack field.
4 shack field. I like it.
That's a good ring to it as well, doesn't it?
I like it a lot.
Trademark, by the
It's
way.
like Rorschach, but like 4 shack.
I don't know what Rorschach is.
It's like those patterns that psychologists used to use to like gauge your
like the ink
your
things?
mood. Yeah, like the ink.
The
patterns.
splatters?
Yeah. And there's a superhero in Watchmen called Rorschach who wears a
That
mask.
is true. I remember that. Yeah. In any case, cool. They're going to get their rotation games going. They have been rotating for pretty much the entire game so far. They lost 2 players in doing so. And now Kingsman and Grossi are trying to find somewhere to lay low. They are coming in early, so there's a good chance that they can get themselves a good compound. But as we said before, there aren't a whole lot of them up for grabs.
Be my loot. They're still in it. Let's go, guys. See what we can get done. Ultra, they made that rotation early. They are pushing up over towards Magic this time around. They got some vehicles to play with. And actually, Avangard far across the field as well.
Yeah, Avangard, they're taking that open field position, and it's an extremely good spot to sit in when you have these field endings. But right now, because the South is still in, because Ultra can sit where they can, first of all, they're without foliage, outside of foliage rendering distance, so it's just a huge pancake for the players that are down there. Second of all, they have that high ground advantage, so them being in the fields doesn't really help them out whatsoever. Avangard can shoot at teams rotating by. You see it happening right now as ASA come rotating through, but they're going to be under so much pressure from other teams. And how did Grossi end up in the water? Wasn't he in the car just before?
He was pushed further south. Unique were on the flank over on the right-hand side, and so he was just kept getting pushed south and south.
Oh, he wasn't in that car. It was only Kingsman who was driving in it.
Yeah, so he was out right next to
I was
them.
like, that's a teleportation right there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, but he's going to have to make quite a long and lonely swim.
Yeah, that is quite a distance. And of course, for those of you guys who don't know, once you're in the water, there is no healing available. So even more so when you're taking the blue as well, it makes it so much harder for you to survive when out there.
Yeah, unless you've got those stims on board already, there's no way you're getting that health back.
Exactly.
Which is why it's always good advice to stim up before you go for a swim.
Yeah. As I always do when I go to the beach.
Yeah.
Stim up.
Bang. I'm
Don't
drinking
wanna
Red
get-
Bulls. I'm popping
No,
cans
you're
of
not.
Red Bull.
I'm popping up. I'm not. Yeah. Yep. Gonzo, he's sitting center. He has no helmet. He does have a nice hoodie though. It's not going to grant him a lot of cover though.
Not at this stage. From Hell on that south coast, along with M19. Everyone making these weird rotations because everyone thought it was going to shift to military. Actually, there we go. He's going to be able to get away with it.
He
He's
is
got
for
out.
now.
But, oh no, he swam into the shore. He's not. He's still in the blue. I thought he was out of it. Is he going to be? I don't think he's going to be able to actually get anything done.
All that effort.
That's sad.
And circle goes back to the water. Even more so. The main thing with this circle, as we have it up right now, the entire west side is open. Look at how many players are west as opposed to how many are east right now.
Wait, hang on. Unique have split up
The entire west, yep, they're pretty thinly split.
completely.
Right
They're 2 and 2, north and south.
The entire west right now is an open field, and the east side is 12 small yellow plank houses, and then you have a little hilly forest area. Why in the universe, Gonzo, do you dare to sit in the open and take a crate like that?
Well, I get it.
He got it, so
Fair
I guess
play to them.
I'll stand corrected. Well, that's probably one of the most scary crate pickups I've seen in a long
I'd
time.
like to see the next circle coming in, actually. That'd be...
It is on
did
the
we
eastern
sit?
side. It is on the
Okay,
north,
yeah.
like on the far out east. It went all the way out towards where DM were sitting.
And actually more towards where Unique were playing.
The thing is,
as I was saying,
Unique
they are
has to
split
go
up.
all the way over towards the lighthouse in order to actually get up to the shore. They are in the cliffs. You can probably see them in the water in just a second's time. They aren't down in the water. 2 of the players, at least. The other 2 are far up north, and the Unique players that are in the water will have to go all the way further west in order to get up from there.
Team Queso lose a player. They're taking knocks as well. Disastrous for them for now, but they might just be able to pull something out. Very, very close, and Epic Gang, they're defending this crate.
OBS, they're in the water as well. They're trying to put down
yeah.
some obstructions in the water. Doing so effectively. And Unique, you see Old Boy and Yasha, they cannot get up over there. I will tell them that right now. Then they will have to use that info as they please.
There's another team as well in the water.
Yeah.
Just around the corner, but at the moment it's just Kingsman playing close to his vehicle. Isn't going to go down just yet. Magic. They're taking a pelting.
Yeah, there are so many teams fighting for
M19.
very little ground right now. And that's the thing right now. You have the whole field. It's practically impossible to play from. And yeah, for those few people that have the good grounds, they'll just be tapping away at everyone else trying to find somewhere to lay low.
For sure. Well, at the moment, Unique, they're going to have to make a big rotation out to the east, I believe, to be able to get up anywhere. Or if they want to head, they can go left. or west, sorry. Kuma, though, and Obstruction both racing for the
Yeah,
shoreline.
they're just chilling.
Whoever gets
up
there first wins that one.
Yep.
There we go. It's unique, actually, to win out the trade, because they're already on that shoreline.
We're safe. We got cover. I'm gonna heal. I'm knocked. Okay, never mind then.
There we go.
That's going to be a finish off coming in there as well. M19, tons of damage coming out from Thanos and the guys on the other side. And they're pushing on forward now. Sade is all by himself. He has a full team pushing forward. And also they have a full team of Loot sitting inside the gas station. They're not getting any info whatsoever when sitting in there.
Oh, Unique, Old Boy, and Yasha, they're both going down. So on that southern coast, they've lost a lot of power. They will fall out. So only that northern contingent of them will be remaining standing. Our previous winners, of course, 3 times today.
Tough, tough place for them to sit. And that, again, map knowledge. You have to know where you can get up from down there. They isolated themselves in an area where they couldn't. And all they had was, well, blue circle or swimming to death.
Exactly. Nade coming in from Be My Loot, sorry. Onto M19, another one to finish it off. Nicely done. Thanos now on half HP. He's lost his teammate.
Yeah, he's all by himself now. It's going to be tricky for him to get anywhere. M19 as well, one of those top teams.
Oh, there they go.
Place. They're going to go out again. Just going to say it before, their 15th place. Now, this was a really, really rough game as far as circles go. But them coming in 6th place in the finals, that is not the kind of thing they want to have going here.
So Unique, they have control pretty much entirely in the fields. They can actually move there. DM have the biggest switch to go for. But Sixers, they did still have a player down on the southeast in the water.
This whole area, for those of you guys who don't know, you can kind of see it here. There are a few trees, but it is open as a thing that is very open. As a 24-hour open gas station.
Like a book? Like an open book?
Yep.
I don't know.
It is just very open, and there's not a whole lot of cover.
Yeah.
Yep. Like a field without grass. Like a parking lot without cars. Yeah, it's very open. And people will die, and a lot of them will die very, very soon. They're already trying to figure out how to get there. That's the thing. You want to say, oh, no, we're not in the circle. We have to go early. At this point, honestly, hold that edge. Run in with the circle in the end, because you will not be able to do anything else.
Speaking of holding the edge, look at how it's just quiet. He's staying.
He's chilling.
Sade. Just so chilled. So chilled. He's very close to the next circle, so he can be. He's going to hear all these Be My Loot players running around. So he's going to know what's up.
He's just grinding those placement points as we speak. We saw 2 Unique players going down just before. Now it's DM. They were the team furthest west, but they have decided to go somewhat center. Hell, they're trying to do something with this high ground position too, and you gotta make something out of nothing if you're trying to stay alive in this circle. White is just spraying and praying over towards Ultra, and somehow they're all still alive.
Well, they have quite a lot to contend with. A lot of pressure now. It's going to spawn out another player. The DP starting to rattle off shots. It's going to be Deformia as well, taking a little bit of punishment.
Trying to shoot through the smoke here, not really sure what he's aiming for. Oh, he's not really sure what he's hitting us, I guess what I was going to say. Circle's going to pop in just a short moment's time as this circle is it's forcing them out into the open already, and it's only going to get more open from here on out, no matter where it goes.
M19 just further down onto the coast. I'm not sure if you can climb up that one. I think you might just be able to for lightning. See what you
Nope,
can
you have
done.
to get all the way to the other side.
You can see the Besiktas player as well in the picture-in-picture down in the bottom right of your screen. Just crawling around. He's spotted out a couple of loot crates as well.
Yeah. He has to get all the way to the other side.
And
where
there's
he has
lightning
the
as well to
opponents.
contend with.
Exactly. That's going to be practically impossible for Besiktas to stay put in this one. You can run on the shoreline, run all you please, but it ain't going to get you safe there.
No, unfortunately not. See what else can get taken down here. So he's still just using BML as his own personal bodyguard.
That makes sense. He's got to play it safe, use them as kind of your line of defense. And, then just
And you
take
don't even need to go
placement
for the
points.
trades. 'Cause
Exactly.
they're not your team.
By seeing the kill feed light up, by hearing all the shots fired, that's perfect for you. And now, look at this, Ultra trying to crawl on forward. DM, they're in a good position here. They have 8 kills already. They were the ones to sit and just harvest when everyone else went in the field. Now they're in the field to 2-2 split and shacks. Moloko, we saw him do crazy nades before, and he's jumping from tree to tree trying to stay alive.
How did that happen? A miracle nade on the last map of Erangel and a miracle dash. This time around, Moloko putting in the work for Ultra. You can see they're split on opposite sides of the circle as well, as the next one's going to shift south.
Wow.
Unique still on that western side as well.
Look at the position for DM right now. They
ASC
get
go
so
down.
many kills, but everyone else can get things going on towards them as well. It's going to be really, really tricky.
I believe that was ASC actually going out in 12th place.
Could be, could be.
Holy shit.
MG still alive.
Wait, are Unique still in it, or have they gone down?
I think they still have 1 player up.
Okay, we'll have to update on that. But Lightning, sprints as fast as his namesake.
around the corner. Here he goes. The only thing is he's indeed trapped down there.
Yeah.
There's no way he's getting out of it. And these guys as well are, well, at least
there we go.
somewhat trapped up there. Oh, they know that he's over there. He's been running, he's been stepping, and they heard the steps. Now, Sade, how are you going to play this? Where are you going to go? How can you get these placements? That's one better. Keep on going, and you might get yourself a few more. I like the way he's playing this one. Buying himself time. Every single kill could be a placement coming your way.
That's exactly what he's looking for at the moment. If Be My Loot go down, he can nade it out. They're not too sure they're going to know where that one is. Oh, he's getting spotted out. Oh, he's right around the corner. Going for the knock. Will be able to finish it off as well. The nade is there, and it's going to give him a little bit more cover. Goes for another trade. Saeed trying to get the finish, trying to get those kill points, but he just can't get it done. Goes down in 8th position.
Moloko jumped from tree to tree like Tarzan himself would be proud, but there, unfortunately, no more trees remaining for him to jump on through. The guys on the shore goes down in the end too. That's going to be Hell, delivering all the damage from above. Farsi is the only guy on his feet, and once again, look at this ending. There's a few trees at hand. There's a couple of shacks, but that's all the cover these guys are going to get. The ones in the field now have probably used their smoke 6 circles ago to even get to the point they are here. And oh my lord, this is only getting harder. Ultra, though, doing everything they can to stay
I think
put
Unique
the 4
have
guys
gone
up.
out at some point.
Oh yeah, they must have gone out earlier.
Yeah. Must have been around 13th or something like that. I have to double check after the game, but they're allowed to.
Can't
They've
really
had a
complain
great day
though,
today.
yeah,
You can't fault them at all.
Cannot
in the final
complain.
game of the day, seems like DM are finally starting to step up. You can see they've got a nice crossfire. They've moved those vehicles. They're using those smokes to their advantage, and they have a lot of pressure. Take a look at it. 4 teams into Zone 6.
We're 24 minutes in, and we have 10 people alive.
That's crazy.
That is very unheard of and very unique, I guess you can say, to this lobby as well.
There we
Ultra
go.
gets down 1.
Actually, was that them out?
Yep.
I think that was it. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay,
DM.
From Hell, able to take it on, and now you've got the powerhouses finally return to form from Deformia.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about them all day today, not seeing what we wanted. The last game kind of showed them a bit of what they were capable of doing, and now, even with a difficult 2-2 split position they were holding for the longest of time, they're starting to rack up kills. I believe they're sitting at 10 or 11 at the moment, and there's a chance of them getting more. But gotta give it to Ultra as well. They were the ones looting down on the military side of things. They crossed over, they got a good position, they fought it off, and they have 6 kills with still 3 guys up. They have a good chance of winning this one. If Zeta has a nade here, that could be deadly, and he does have a Molotov. If he can throw that one perfectly over behind the shacks here, that would be really, really dangerous for the guys in there.
A little bit long.
Too far?
A little bit long.
Let it spread. Let it spread.
It's not going to be able to spread.
Oh, it's not
that
going to
far,
be enough.
unfortunately.
Just a bit too long.
You can see a Molotov push very short as well from Ultra.
In between. That's perfect. Do you have a third one? Now he's kind of pinned down the angle, right?
Exactly.
Just got to throw that third one. Circle does center up, but that's only going to benefit one team, and that is DM. And, well, I mean, the thing being here, 3 of them on the wrong side of things. They have to make the rotation on out. Doing it on foot, though. Are they going to try and make the run on off? The circle is pushing in. You can see the amount of damage that they're taking from it, too, here.
They have to try and push out, as you say, but the rest of the time, they're getting blinked away, and it's, oh, Matic coming in. Huge for his team. Nukes as well on the sideline. They're outpost into the center of the circle, and they're going to make the push up to the Ultra position. It's only Stark remaining standing for the Ultra squad. If they can take this one down, DM looking very, very good here. They will be able to get one down. Ultra do lose one to Hell from Hell as well. Oh, okay. He's chiming in. Foxy trying to steal some kills. You can see he's going to get spotted out. Matic just says, hang on a minute. Chill out, mate.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are going to move on forwards. It's just Stark going up on the top of the hill. He's going to have to be a real Iron Man to pull this one off.
I was going to say, Fox, you just stay put and get that second place because they're fighting here. But he was just too greedy for the kills, and that throws him out in third. Now Stark all by himself against 4 guys. Are you going to tank the blue? Seems like he is. Deny those kill points. Try and first hit it through. It's not going to happen. He's going to try and prone down, and that is going to be him out. Finally, the guys that dominated through the semis have come back up on top, and not just come back on top, but with 17 kills.
Looking a little bit more Ned than Tony there, unfortunately, as he is going to go down. And it's going to be, a huge comeback to form there. Not massive kills coming out from Deformia Meditari. We need to see what that's going to do for the standings, where that's going to put them. Of course, they were sat in third before. They should be able to breach that 100-point mark pretty easily off the back of that performance.
Yeah.
So
ASA went out in 9th, I think.
Yeah, a lot of those top
So they might even be able to surpass them, throwing up in second place right now. Yeah,
they might just be able to secure that a little bit better.
Good game. 17 kills and a win.
Very, very good. I'm going to write that one down.
Very solid performance. And also, they were the ones rotating on the edge for the longest of time. You can see it in the highlights here as well. They were on the edge for the longest of time out east, but they knew we got to crash. We got to play something 2-2 split the Shacks, and not only did they 2-2 split them, but they held off everyone trying to make their way in towards them, and that really is the tricky part when you're in a rough position already. Multiple teams, looking at you, still made it work, and they did not lose a single player for the entire game.
If Syed had a couple of smokes, he might have been able to make a better run for it there. Off the back of that engagement with BML, because he got that first knock. I mean, fair enough. Fair play to the guy. He was able to do it. You can see the spray downs coming in huge for his team. And this is where Foxy chimed in, gave his game away, and then that was it.
They did not know where he was.
Not at all.
He could have chilled for a little while longer, gotten himself some more placement points off that one too. And we've seen so many times how that 1 or 2 placement points can be the difference maker. Sure, Hell might not make it into top 3, but when we're looking at the prize pool distribution, I mean, have they gotten that 1 placement higher? That's a lot more pocket change coming your way.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, you're looking at the top of the distribution. Each place from 9th up to 4th gives you $1,000 extra, starting at 1. So that 4th position, you get 6K. Then it starts to go for the jumps. 3rd place, $9,000. $12,000 for 2nd. And the big cheese, it's up at $25,000 for the victor.
What would you do with $25? You had to spend them in 5 minutes. Yeah.
$25,000.
What would you do with 25,000? You have to. I give them money now. You have 60 seconds to spend them. Go.
Okay, I have to buy. What do I have to buy? Okay, I put it into an investment fund. 15,000 because that's obviously a cashless ISA, which is the limit that you can do per year in the UK, which is where I live. So you put that in, obviously, make sure that's investment leaves 10K left, so I can spend that on Yeezys. I don't really like trainers, but that's the first thing that came to mind. Loads of, random stuff. I don't know. Donate it to charity. Why not? Something like that. But Team Unique, they are still at the top, 154, a decent score on the day. The Formia Meditari, they are back with a vengeance, 116 points, and you're right, they have leapfrogged ASE, for sure, who are now set down on 92 off the back of a not great performance there.
I mean,
but
the win here in the final
both Besiktas and Be My Loot, they're not sat at the bottom anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the win for Deformia here, really, really good performance, and actually throws them within reach of Unique coming into tomorrow,
it really
honestly.
does.
I mean, the one win they had here, if Unique has one bad game to start off things tomorrow, that's going to throw them all the way out and above them. So even though they were the untouchable 170 points up, Deformia just said, guys, you have now awoken the beast. It will be back tomorrow.
Yeah. What I'm curious about is why Unique actually split up. Because they had 4 players all as a group on that eastern flank. Yeah. And then they split down south, went onto the cliffs for some reason, and couldn't get back up, and then up north.
They had 2 guys try and rotate on through underneath, because they were trying to hold that position for the longest of time. And then as they were driving off, I believe it was actually DM that were sitting in the compound they wanted to go to. They got split off on both sides, and you can't just go back together, because on the other side you have other teams that's going to force them even further apart. And then it keeps going. We talked about how the whole center point was just one big field. You can't just go, let's just meet by that little bush down there somewhere. We'll just sit there and chill for the longest of time. Forced separating, and then forced separation. That's the saddest separation,
That's very, very sad. But that's going to be it for the first day. That's the first half of the tournament complete. If you want to check out the standings at the end of the day, you can head over to the website. That's clubopen.pubgmobile.com, where you can check out all the stats as well for the entire tournament and all the other regions. And if you want to catch up with all the replays, all the highlights, head over to the YouTube channel. Of course, that is going to be PUBG Mobile Esports, and you can see everything that went down and maybe get a little bit of revision done, because all of these teams are going to be sat there racking their brains thinking, what are we going to do differently tomorrow? And, well, we're going to have to see, because that is going to be it from us today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching at home. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, same time, same place, where we will see the final parts of the final.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?